Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to another stream. Today we're playing some Wolfenstein 3D in the good old Atari Jaguar. So I told you guys I wasn't going to be doing any Jaguar stuff anytime soon. Because I don't have a Jaguar flash card. And, you know, there's the potential it'll be ready by the end of this month or early next month. But at the local video game store, I ended up picking up a copy of this game just last week, and I've already run through it once. I played through the whole thing on Twitch, I think in 2 sittings, and so we're gonna go through the whole thing from start to finish here on YouTube, and it should be a good time. Wolfenstein 3D and Jaguar is pretty good. It's you know, it hasn't aged the best. Frame rate's not the best, as you guys will see, especially when we get up close to walls. And the control scheme's not the greatest because the Jaguar controller by default does not have shoulder keys. There was a Pro controller later on that did, but it unfortunately did not take advantage of Wolfenstein 3D. No separate stray functionality like you've got in the 3DO version. So, you know, playability-wise, it's not the best one out there. It was really good for its time, though. It was one of the earliest console ports of the game. And it's still a lot of fun to go back to, especially for someone like me who's a huge fan of the original Wolfenstein 3D and Spear of Destiny and just Wolfenstein engine games in general, like Corridor 7 and Blake Stone and Planet Strike and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to go through the whole thing. I predict this will take us 4 to maybe 5 hours, maybe a little bit more. It depends on how many times I die. I'm hoping not to die at all in this game, but you know, it's a tough game. Especially when the zombies start appearing, like you see on this level here. They basically don't make any call-out sounds at all, so they kind of just sneak up behind you and catch you off guard. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. And the inability to use the knife, it's not just the knife, Ronnie. You can't go back to your machine gun either. Once you got the chain gun, you can only cycle between the chain gun, rocket launcher, and flamethrower, so it's not just the knife. It is kind of a weird design choice. I think it would have been fun having the option to say play pistol only or machine gun only. There are actually in the MS-DOS original, there are instances where it's more beneficial to use the machine gun as opposed to the chain gun, because the chain gun, you know, eats through ammo like popcorn. So, but it's not really a big deal in this one because, I mean, I'd rather have the option to use those weapons just to mix things up, but this version does have backpacks, and so you do extend your ammo farther than it does in other versions of the game. Some other, more than the PC version anyway, and so you're, you know, less likely to burn through all your ammo with the chain gun like you would in the DOS version, but it is Wolfenstein on Jaguar. Yeah, it is pretty good, Jeff. Yeah. Hey, Dasan, what's going on? Dasan had caught us playing a little bit of this last night on Twitch. We finished up the game last night on Twitch. I wanted to make sure I had done a full playthrough before I did my YouTube stream. So, you know, he said last night he mentioned I got wrecked in the 3DO version when I streamed that years back. And, you know, so I responded with, well, yeah, that's why I'm trying to do a full playthrough of the Jaguar version. That way, when we go live on YouTube, it's hopefully relatively smooth and whatnot. And, so yeah, we'll see how smooth it goes. So, but, yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Before we, start here, let's, do the old shout-outs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, thanks to everyone that's backing the channel on places like Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show and getting Let's Plays early, consider joining up as a patron over on Patreon. Links in the description box below. And also, thanks to everyone that's been doing super chats on our live streams, and thanks to all of our channel members. I got the slides updated. I think I'm like a week and a half late. So I've got a lot of super chatter shoutouts to catch up on. So shoutouts to Deadly Gaming LV, Jeff Metal 42, Jeffrey Smith, Red Zero Ranger, Lord Cephleon, Mark Havner, who all did super chats on my last stream, the NES stream, I believe. And then Alex A3542, Omri Assad, Tenchi3, Will Haynes, and Adam Pearson, who I think all did super chats on my Doomsgiving and Dark Souls stream. So thank you guys for that. Or my second Dark Souls stream. And I'm not sure if Mernon J35 joined up during those streams, but he's a new member, so shout out to Mernon as well. But yeah, I speaking of that Doomsgiving stream, by the way, I got a couple copyright claims in the very beginning of it, and I'm not sure how to deal with those, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. So it's like I want to dispute the claims, but I've got a couple of claims I'm already like counter-claiming or counter-disputing right now. And I only like to have so many disputes out there, because if they come back, I get a copyright strike, and then a couple copyright strikes, I lose my streaming ability and stuff like that, and that's not cool. So right now the stream archive is kind of MIA. Hopefully I'll be able to get that up in the future, because it was a fun stream and I did show off some good Doom mods. But yeah, it sucks. So, but yeah, all right. Consider getting Wolfenstein 3D for the system. Yes, I do think it's worth it. I think it's better than the Jaguar version, honestly. It doesn't run quite as smooth, but the game is more responsive. Jaguar 3D, like when you move, it almost has this sort of like analog style movement. It feels very slippery sometimes, but the 3DO one is nice and snappy. 3DO version has a great soundtrack and an incredible sound package. Sound effects are way better. And not only does it have the 30 levels or whatever of the Jaguar version, but it also has the original 60 plus from the computer games. So you've got something like 90 levels plus in that version of the game. So it's just chock full of content, and the original computer game levels are sorted by episodes, just like in the original computer game. So you don't have to go through like all 60 of the computer version levels. You can just play episode 5 if you want to. But yeah, that's my opinion. Some people prefer the Jaguar version. After playing through the Jag version this last week, I will say I do prefer the 3DO one. The shoulder keys you have individual strafe left and strafe right functionality in the 3DO port as well, so you can maneuver around a lot easier. Whereas in the Jaguar version, you just got up, down, left, right, and then one strafe button which locks you into place. So it's really hard to circle strafe in this game. But it's quite doable in the 3DO one, which is nice. So it's not YouTube, Dasan. It's record companies and ad rights companies taking advantage of YouTube's content ID system, and it's very difficult to work around. So it's not necessarily YouTube. It's you guys have to understand how the system works and stop blaming YouTube for everything, because it's not necessarily YouTube's fault. I do wish they would do something about it, but there's no perfect solution, and we just have to live with it, which sucks. So unless you guys are making videos yourselves and you have to deal with this manually, personally, don't give YouTube crap. A lot of people like to jump on the hate YouTube bandwagon just because they don't know any better. And trust me, it sucks for creators, but I can't think of a better system that they could implement. I don't know. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, but yeah, people that don't make content, you should probably go start making content and experience it firsthand before you start talking about it. Because a lot of what I hear is just a lot of hearsay and things like that. And yeah, it's a bummer. I could have gotten around it last week if I made a local recording of my stream, but I didn't, and the stream ended up being over like 6 hours long. And after a certain period of time, YouTube won't let you edit the stream from their dashboard. Like I'd have to edit it manually off stream, then re-upload it. Even then, I'd still lose a lot of stats and things like that. But I don't know. It's complicated. All right, so basically at the start here, you've got a new game. You can pick last game, which is you just continue the last game that you played. Then you have 3 save slots, which when you're in the game, you press buttons 1, 2, or 3 to save to that particular slot. And so we're going to start a new game, and you've got multiple difficulty levels. We're not going to play in the hardest. On the PC game, I always play in the hardest difficulty. Same with the 3DO version. But in this one, the enemies just like zip around the screen like crazy. So we're not going to do that. Maximum death is basically the equivalent of like I Am Death Incarnate on the computer versions, but with much faster AI. So we're not going to mess around with that. So you've got extra carnage, normal, easy, and then that's it. So we're going to play on extra carnage, and then you do have control settings and whatnot. Again, you're only using the main 3 face buttons, unfortunately. There's no individual strafe left, strafe right functionality. So But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Yeah, Dasan, that is something with Jaguar games is it was actually mandated by Atari to enable separate audio functions. Oh, speaking of which, my sound volume music volume was apparently low. But I'm going to go ahead and just leave it where it was because I tested the audio with it kind of down like that. So, yeah, the sound effects are actually kind of quiet in this game. But yeah, what you see here this was mandated by Atari. Just about every Atari era retail release had that option in it. And the Jaguar actually has, it's got EEPROMs that, it saves settings and whatnot. So, pretty much every Jaguar game that has that option will also save the state of your sound settings and whatnot. And so what happens with on the used market is some people, lower the volume all the way and then they resell their game. They get rid of the game, not realizing that, the settings keep. And then the next buyer will get the game and think that, oh, great, my cartridge is broken. It's not playing music. But, the common solution is to hit pause and bring up your sound menu right there and fix it. Usually it's some previous owner had muted the audio. So the level design in this game is cut down quite a bit from the computer original, much like the Super Nintendo and the 30 level campaign in the 3DO one. So in the original PC version, there's a door down there at the end of that hallway. So a lot of these levels are cut back. So if you're used to seeing the MS-DOS version, or if you've played like the modern, Xbox 360, Xbox One versions, which are based on the MS-DOS one, you're going to notice that a lot of these levels are much smaller than they were before. Now, the 3DO version, like I said, it's got the, it's got the original computer levels in there as well, which are optional. And it's actually kind of interesting going back to them because I feel like these trend back levels work better as, it allows Wolfenstein 3D to work better as a console game. Because of how fast these versions move, how kind of limited your controls are compared to with the keyboard and mouse setup. And so after you play the 30 level campaign, things feel just right. But then you go play the 3DO, PC conversion levels, and you're like, whoa, this is huge in comparison. It's almost too huge. So yeah, it's actually kind of nice. I like it as is. One other interesting feature in this one is treasures in this game actually boost your health bar. So you notice that I went up to 104% on my health. And this is another area right here. There would normally be a door down here, which would take me to a long hallway, but it's gone in this version. And let's go ahead and turn around. You always want to listen for sound callouts or enemy callouts because if you hear that, they're bolting down a hallway towards you, which is why I stopped. I was going to go into this door, but I remember hearing the guy, so I decided to come here. Sure enough, he opened the door on my way back. So that's something you have to be very on top of in Wolfenstein 3D, not just the Jaguar version, but most versions of Wolfenstein 3D. You have to really be on top of that, otherwise you'll get ganged up by enemies that you're not paying attention to. So this secret area here, this would normally take you to your first secret level. But it's the Jaguar version, so it doesn't do that. It's just some goodies. And let's see, does any of this open? Yeah, that still opens up. And here we go. That's an extra life, but it's actually not an extra life. It actually boosts your health to 200. So those spheres in the original PC game are extra lives because they still had a life and score system in the MS-DOS original. Some people seem to hate on the Jaguar version of Doom because it's on the Jaguar. Usually I hear people praising it because it's on the Jaguar, not really the opposite. But I mean, Jag Doom is a good game, but it's still not ideal playing it in this day and age when you've got so many other versions available. It was great for the 90s, but it's not as great now, especially if you played on Nightmare. Oh man, you guys. For those of you guys that missed it, I did a Nightmare Jaguar stream of Doom a couple months ago, and it got down to like single-digit frame rates. It was really bad. But if you're playing it on Ultra Violence, it's still a solid experience overall, if you ask me. I still love Jag Doom. But in this day and age, it's like, you know, most people have computers. You can just play it there and get a much better experience overall. Hey, Blue Thunder, what's going on? Hey, Lawrence, what's going on? Jagdoom has no music. Well, that'll be fixed. There's a group in the Jag scene working on that, and it's already... I don't know how close it is to being done, but yeah, they've added the music back in with only a very, like, nominal frame rate dip. It's a very small dip, if any dip at all. And then they're adding in a whole bunch of extra features like the Cyber Demon and Mastermind. It's looking like an awesome project. Can't wait to try it, but I'm gonna have to get that Jag game drive whenever it's available before I'll even be able to. But you guys can bet, like, once I got that flash card and I have access to that updated Jag version of Doom, I will definitely be covering it here. Hey, Liberal Arts Guy, what's going on? This is full screen, yes. That's one big advantage it has over the 3DO version of the game. This is full screen. I'm trying to play it safe here. Wolfenstein 3D is obviously a fairly simplistic game by today's standards, but doesn't mean it's easy. You still have to pay attention to what you're doing. You have to play it safe. Otherwise, you'll get ganged up and you'll die very, very quickly. Enemies hit very hard in this game. Alright, so one other really neat feature in this version, and this was actually in other versions as well, is a map. So by pressing the number 5 key, I can bring up this map and look to see where I've been and where I haven't been. So what I want to do is actually try to go through all the doors. I want to make sure that, you know, I maximize my chances of getting, say, like a chain gun early on. So, yeah. And some treasure. And I don't think there's another secret. There are actually a ton of secrets in this game. But I've never really been much of a secret hunter with Wolfenstein 3D. And so I actually need to loop around. Okay. So let's go this way. Was it this way I was thinking of? Might be going the wrong way, but that's Wolfenstein 3D. It's very common to go the wrong way. Alright, so bring up my map again. Okay, yeah, it's right here. This is where I want to be. Okay, cool. Looks like I had triggered those guys earlier, and so they were already walking towards me. Just waiting. In this version of the game in particular, you're much better off not being aggressive. You kind of want to just wait. And I'm hugging the wall here. Would you notice that? You notice that as I get close to the wall, and the texture quality improves, the frame rate drops big time. So, and then the frame rate ironically gets better as you move away. So let's see if there are any secrets in here. Sometimes when you have just like blank rooms like this, there are secrets involved, but I guess there aren't any. Alright, so this is also something that was carried over from Spear of Destiny, which was the sequel to Wolfenstein 3D on PC. And that's big ammo boxes. And then there's like another carryover from Doom, which was the backpack. And the backpack extends the maximum amount of ammo that you can carry. We're just waiting on the finishing networking fix. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. That was actually a lucky secret. I thought that was a door. I was looking at chat, and I thought I had run into a door, but it wasn't a door. And, so I actually pressed the wrong button by accident. Conga? Yeah, it runs pretty well. Yep. So yeah, it looks like this is actually a secret area, which is interesting. I didn't even know about this one. And another secret. Ha ha ha! See, this, ladies and gentlemen, is why exploration is great in Wolfenstein 3D. I mean, Wolfenstein 3D is no slouch when it comes to secrets. So, if you're ever stuck on a level, you know, try humping all the walls, and chances are the walls will bear fruit. Alright, so, yep, still... I actually really don't need to, you know, find these other rooms. I just wanted a chain gun, that's it. So... Hey, there we go. Now just work our way back. Alright, let's see where we need to go now. Straight down. Wait. What? I'm confused. Oh, okay. I need to actually go to the right. There we go. Yeah, and I've got 154 hit points as well. So that's actually, I'm in really good shape right now. Again, enemies hit really hard in this game. Dad, yes, she did. Yep. Well, I mean, technically it's the second Wolfenstein game, but yes, Spear, does, I believe, take place before Wolfenstein 3D. But it's still a sequel. It's still the second game in the series. You know what I mean? Like, it came after, like, it was physically released and available after Wolfenstein 3D. That's what I meant as a sequel. But yes, technically, it's a prequel. Alright, so, boss fight here. Pretty early in the game. There's our backpack, so now we can get 350 bullets. Hey, game's made of cardboard? What's going on, dude? Alright. So there are quite a few bosses in the game. And this is one of them. Now, the console version here has less levels than the PC original. So, you know, bosses will appear more frequently. But the episodes that you go through in this game, they get longer and longer as you go through them. Emulator play? No. 9. Real hardware play. Alright, and that's it. Yeah, that's actually true to Son. You're right. Yeah, episodes 4 through 6 take place before episodes 1 through 3. Good catch on that, too. Yeah, Alibor Arts Guide. That's actually one thing that was added into some of the source ports, like EC Wolf has that map feature as well, which is nice. I haven't made any mods, because the Jaguar does RGB out of the box. You just have to buy an RGB cable. And then I'm running it into a Framemeister upscaler. Now, the Framemeister does desaturate the image a little bit, and so I've actually added a sort of post filter in OBS to, you know, boost the saturation a little bit, to kind of fix that a little bit. So that it should look somewhat colorful. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's my Framemeister or if it's the cable. I think it's the Framemeister, because it happens with multiple systems, but I get these nasty jail bars up and down the screen vertically. Doesn't really bother me that much, but if I was using something like an OSSC, that issue would probably be gone completely. But I don't have an OSSC anymore. Okay, there we go. Nice, Jack. Yeah, Ronnie's been up here a couple times. Not just on Doom, but he's, you know, we've done Wolfenstein 3D stuff. And whenever he comes up again, I'm sure we'll stream again. So whenever I'm playing something like Doom and you hear me mention, oh hey, we're playing like Wolfenstein 3D now, and what I mean by that is like inching my way around corners like this. This is a very common Wolfenstein 3D strategy, is just to sort of lightly poke your head around the corner like this. Because, especially in this version, it's really difficult to say circle strafe. It's pretty much impossible to circle strafe without it looking super jank like this. That's not really circle strafing. It's about as close as you can get to circle strafing. So the common strat is to kind of just poke your head around the corner. You know, like I said, it's very basic by today's standards, but it's still quite challenging. A lot of people will jump into this game, I'm sure, and just try to run around like crazy and play aggressively like they do in Doom, but not a great strat in this game. You want to play careful in Wolfenstein 3D if you want to survive. Yeah, there we go. We added circling to Doom on the shoulder buttons. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Well, see, now I need to get a Pro Controller. Those things are so damn expensive. Alright, so I'm actually just saving to every slot right now. So one good strategy here is, if you die, you'll have to pistol start, but a way around that is doing the soft reset and then picking one of your save games, and then you'll go back to that level, and look at that! You've got your guns and your health still. So, yeah, while they do reset all your health and guns and ammo, after you die, you can just do the soft reset, reload your game, then you'll get that stuff back. So the save functionality in this game, it's not quick saving like it is in other games. It just basically saves what level you're at and your health and ammo and guns. So just keep that in mind when you're saving the game. Alright. Yeah, Leo, I saw that. The OSSC Pro is going to be like anywhere from like $450 to $550 or something like that. Maybe just, maybe 400 at a minimum. But the price right now, it doesn't appear to be completely determined yet. So it's definitely not something I plan on getting right away. It's something that I'll have to, you know, look at reviews of. Because I've already got a Framemeister, and that sucker was not cheap. Granted, I've gotten more than my $400 worth out of it, because I've had it for 4.5 years now. And it's the main workhorse in my recording setup, so, you know, it's been worth it. But if I have a device that still does a good job and it was already $400, do I need another one, even if it's better in most, if not all ways? You know, it'll probably be one of those situations where I just, you know, stick with the Framemeister till the day it dies. Unless I start making a lot more money with this streaming thing. And then I can justify another expensive scaler, but yeah, not right now. Although I could actually envision myself getting another original OSSC, because I'm planning on changing my capture setup to where, like, I'm going through a different capture card instead of my Elgato. And then I'd have probably the best of both worlds. Hey, Pancreatitis. And our health is pretty high, which is nice. So as you can tell, you've got two different key types. You've got the gold keys, and then you've got the blue keys. Or silver. I think they were silver in the original DOS version of the game. But they're blue here. Alright. Let's see where I need to go. Alright, over there, straight ahead, and to the right. Okay. What the hell? I'm missing something. Oh. I just ran right past the door. Thank you, Automap. Thank you. Alright, so we have to go back, actually. So there is a separate run button in this game. And with my control set up, it's the A button. And for those of you guys that have never used a Jaguar controller, the buttons are in reverse like Nintendo likes to do. You can tell Atari was trying to mimic what Nintendo was doing. So A is on the far right, B is in the middle, and C is on the far left. I'm doing a 100% run? When do I ever do 100% runs, Dad? You know me. You know me by now, man. I don't have time for that crap. Oh. The Pro controller from Atari Age. Was it one of the reproduction ones? I bought one of the repros, and, dude, the D-pad on it was trash. And I tried fixing it, and it never got to a point where I felt it was usable. It was really awful. I ended up selling... I ended up selling it for cheap, I think. Much less than what I paid for it. I think I had to pay like 60 or 70 for it. And I think I only got like 40 or 50 back for it. It was a big old waste of money, which sucks because apparently they work out pretty well for some people. But other people have had problems. You know, honestly, I don't miss the Pro controller. Like, I would like to have one, but there's only a few games that I really feel like I need it. One of them is Atari Karts because, stupidly, its hard steering, its hard turning, or sharp turning, was mapped to the numeric keys. And then, obviously, the Doom Homebrew, or the Doom Fixed, can't be arsed. You know, if Doom's gonna have individual strafe keys, and that would be nice. It would be nice for that. But, you know, most other games, I don't really need it. I guess a couple of the fighting games would be good to have. But the fighting games in Jaguar are mostly terrible. So, eh. Some are terrible. Some are just mediocre at best. Or just poor man's versions of actual good games you can get on other systems, like Ultra Vortec. A lot of people put that one up on a pedestal, but it's like it's even basic compared to Mortal Kombat, which is really saying something, because Mortal Kombat's one of the most shallow fighting games in the existence of man. But it's fun, you know? Yeah, so I think the point is not to try to bash Jaguar stuff, because I love the Jaguar, you know? Trust me, if I did not love the Jaguar, I would not still have my system right now, because those suckers are going for big money, boxed and complete like what I've got. And, I could definitely use that money, but no, because I love the Jaguar, I must keep it. Alright, so the option button actually cycles through your weapons, and as you can see, we can't go back to our pistol, knife, or machine gun. It just cycles through our rocket launcher and our chain gun. And we will get a flamethrower as well. Flamethrower is better than the rocket launcher because it kind of does the same thing, except it's a lot faster, shoots more rapidly. Ultra Vortec kicks ass? No, it doesn't. Sorry. It's neat, but it doesn't play very well. Frame rate is kind of poor compared to other games of its ilk. Yeah, it just doesn't really play all that well. It's very sluggish. On the Jaguar, I guess it's fine by Jaguar standards, but when you compare it to similar games that it was trying to imitate, the other similar games just crap all over it, no pun intended. It's actually kind of ironic, because that game actually has poopalities or whatever. They were obviously trying to be really edgy back then. Yeah, Ultra Vortec is the kind of game Jaguar fans put on a pedestal. It's like the CDI, actually. There's a game on the CDI called The Apprentice. It's a game that CDI fans put on a very high pedestal. The only reason... Oh, or I should say, they put it on a very high pedestal, but if that game was released on other systems, its contemporaries, it would have just been seen as a totally mediocre game. But because, you know, it's about as good as the CDI gets, CDI fans have to put it on a pedestal. Otherwise, you know... they'll just, you know, cry themselves to sleep every night. And that's what Ultra Vortec is like on the Jaguar. All of your other options in this genre are completely mediocre. So here's this one that sort of almost gets there. So we're all gonna say it's a great game, even though it's not actually really a great game. Alright, I've got to get back through this door. So a big swarm of enemies is coming out. I'm not saying it's wrong to like the game. I do like the game, but I compared to something like Mortal Kombat 2, it's kind of trashy. Although then again, the Jaguar does have Primal Rage on CD, which is a much better game, but it's still not a great version of Primal Rage. I wanted to, Jeff, but I don't have really a way of playing it reliably. Oh, Alien Gate. Sorry, I thought you said CDI first-person shooter. Which would be Atlantis, The Last Resort, or whatever. But yeah, no, Alien Gate, I did stream it, not on YouTube. I played it on Twitch. No, I actually played it on YouTube. We did a CDI stream a few months back, and I did actually play it there with the mouse. Oh, that game's terrible, too. Not really, Dad. I mean, some of the 3DO's top games would have been considered really solid games on the competition. Like, if Star Control 2 had come out on PS1 and Saturn, no one would have complained at all, because it's a great game. And, you know, some of his games, like Gex, were actually really popular on those systems. PS1 in particular. And, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo was an excellent port. You know, it's still seen as a very good port, even to this day. So there are some 3DO games that they, you know, if they were brought to other systems, you know, they would have definitely been seen as good games. Still, I mean, even the Jaguar had Rayman. But there are some Jaguar games in certain genres that just aren't really. Some genres just aren't really well represented on the system. That's just how it is. The fighting games, that's one of the genres. Yeah, it's got, you know, a handful of fighting games. You got Double Dragon 5, Primal Rage, Kasumi Ninja, Ultra Vortec, Fight for Life. But, I mean, I have a soft spot for Primal Rage, but pretty much all those options I just mentioned are kind of not good in some way or another. Some are more not good than others. I do think, though, if Ultra Vortec had ran as smooth as Kasumi Ninja did, Kasumi Ninja is like rock solid at 60 FPS. I think Ultra Vortec would have been more enjoyable for me. But it still is much more basic than even Mortal Kombat. You have less moves, less basic moves in Ultra Vortec than you do in Mortal Kombat. And so, you know, you're stuck doing just, you know, like one of 4 or 5 basic attacks, and then you have to just rely on your specials. So you have much less combat flexibility, which makes for a much more shallow experience. And then you also tack in the fact that, you know, the game runs at 30 FPS at best, which is really weird for a fighting game. Fighting games were, in arcades in particular, were always standard at 60 FPS. So there are always these really smooth experiences. Not always. I mean, the original Street Fighter did not run super smoothly. But Street Fighter 2, Primal Rage, Killer Instinct, you know, Samurai Showdown, you know, all those Neo Geo games. The popular ones, basically, were really well polished for the most part. And Ultra Vortec doesn't do any of that. I'm gonna stop bashing Ultra Vortec now, because it's kind of annoying. I hate talking about it like that. But, you know, it is what it is. So I need to actually move this way, because I don't trust those doors behind me. So yeah, basically the mutants have been introduced. And again, this is where the game starts to get more challenging because you can't actually hear the mutants. They don't, you know, well, no enemies in this game make footstep sounds, but most enemies in this game will at least have some kind of voice call out, so you know they're there. The zombies don't do that, so they can just sneak right up behind you. And look at the dogs. You see them bolting around the screen like that? That's what most enemies are like on maximum death, which is the hardest difficulty. So that's one reason why I'm choosing not to play on the maximum difficulty. But Dad, yeah, no, I do hear you. The 3DO does have, you know, a lot of average games where if they were ported to other systems, they probably wouldn't be viewed very highly. But I think with the 3DO, there are a lot of games in that category that aren't really viewed all that highly regardless. It's like there are some fandoms or fan bases that that see mediocre games as these things that are just like, you know, amazing. When like the average person on, you know, an average fan of like a PlayStation or Saturn or PS2 or whatever, you know, they'd see the same games and be like, yeah, no. I feel like the 3DO fan base is in a place where, like, you know, they're more open to, you know, criticizing games on, you know, the platform that they love. Whereas you get other fans of platforms like CDI, Jaguar in particular, you know, they put kind of like crappy games up on pedestals. But the Jaguar does have some really, really good games, though. I mean, Wolfenstein 3D, even Doom. Even though Doom's not... It's not ideal going back to that version of Doom these days. There are better ways to play Doom. It's still solid. Especially if you're a Doom fan like me, it's still fun going back to. But it's got some actual top-tier games, like Tempest 2000 is one of the all-time greats, if you ask me. And without 2000, we might not have ever gotten 3000 or 4000 or TXK. And then Rayman's on it. Yeah, it's, you know, if you're trying to buy the real thing, Jaguar Rayman is a really stupid decision. Because it's ridiculously priced, but it's, you know, it doesn't take away from it being a great game. It's arguable it's better on Saturn and PlayStation, but it's still in a top-tier game on the Jaguar. The Jaguar has some stuff like that, you know, and oftentimes doesn't get enough credit. But there are pieces of software, in my opinion, that aren't all that great, and people still put them on pedestals in the Jag community. Hell, I've heard like the occasional one or two people in the Jag scene, and if Lawrence is still out there, he can verify this, saying that Checkered Flag is a great game. Yeah. There's a couple people in the Jag scene in particular that have probably slipped on their bathroom floor, smashed their head open on the kitchen sink, or not the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, and never told anybody about it. And they're messed up for life, so we have to just let them love Checkered Flag. It's okay, we can't all be perfect. Checkered Flag is not a great game. Yeah, people that say Checkered Flag is awesome, I just can't have conversations with them at all. Because we clearly are not thinking on the same wavelength. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, I've seen people do that too, Dad. Yeah. So, Club Drive is one of those games that it does have some redeeming factors. If you play tag mode in multiplayer, it's actually really, really fun. But it's only tag mode. If you try to play anything else, it's a little bit of a train wreck. Although, the general, God, what's it called? What are its power-ups that you have to pick up? Not really power-ups, but it's like the glowing ball icons that you have to get. It's like some kind of collect mode. You can play that solo. That's actually kind of fun, too. I just like exploring the rooms. I really don't mind that. The big one for me is is like the stunt track mode or the race mode or whatever, where you have to actually race through deliberately designed courses. And the problem isn't so much with the courses so much as it is the engine. You kind of like snap to whatever floor you're driving into, and the camera just shifts completely, like in a very jarring way, as opposed to like moving smoothly. It's really hard to explain, but if you played Club Drive, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it kind of makes me motion sick, and I don't usually get motion sick in games. But the tag mode and 2-player mode is actually really fun. Actually, some of my best memories playing Jaguar games in 2-player mode are, you know, is on Club Drive's tag mode. But yeah, the game in its other modes has a lot of issues, for sure. A lot of people like to criticize the simplistic graphics. I really don't find that a problem in Club Drive, because the game came out in like, what, 1994? You know, flat shaded polygon look was kind of still the standard, and so I think it's fine. The frame rate is good. It's actually probably got one of the better frame rates on Jaguar for a polygonal game. So it is a game that has redeeming qualities. I definitely personally would not put it in top 3. I wouldn't put it all the way at the very bottom, though. There are definitely much worse games on the system. You know, like I said, it does have some redeeming factors. And but still, okay, top 3 Jaguar game. See, comments like that tells me that you know, you haven't played a lot of Jaguar games, which is fine. But I mean, I don't know, man. This is why, like, you know, I kind of veer away from talking opinions a lot these days, because you start running into lots of people that have some really weird opinions. Alright, so this is actually a really dangerous part right here. I want to trigger these guys and then move backwards. I've actually died here a bunch of times, not just in this version of the game, but in other versions as well. So there's basically 6 zombies here, and like I said, you don't hear them. So you're just like moseying along, do. You grab the key and you turn around and you're dead because they're all on top of you. Yeah, Raiden is an interesting one. Like, I like it a lot, but I understand why people don't. Because it, you know, we're fans of other versions of Raiden. I understand why they don't care for the Jaguar version that much, because it does run more sluggish and it feels weird compared to, you know, a lot of the other versions, especially the arcade original. But I still find it to be really fun. And one thing I do like about it is that there are strategies you can use to sort of, I don't know if I'd say cheese the game, but there are a couple of mechanics you can take advantage of that makes the game so much more doable than the arcade version. So it's like one of the few versions of Raiden people can actually beat, you know, and so they can feel good about it. And then if you want to make it harder, it does loop. Maybe they said checkered flag and we're thinking Super Burnout. There's always the possibility, Adam. There's always the possibility. But, yeah, no, I would just say Super Burnout. You think the Telegames copies are repros of like the Atari era games that weren't actually published by them? They shouldn't be repros. But Telegames does still manufacture their own games, you know, like Towers 2 and you know, games that they've published. Iron Soldier 2, I believe, is one. So those are definitely, like, quote-unquote repros, but, I mean, they're the original company that manufactured them back in the day, so it's like, are they actually reproductions? It's kind of a tricky one there. You're still getting them from technically the official source. But you will notice box quality differences and even cart label and cart quality differences between the Telegames releases of the late 90s and the modern manufactured same releases from today. And for people that put Ultra Vortek on a pedestal, I just assume they haven't played better fighting games. That's my guess. I have to just leave it at that. I'm like, okay. You just don't have the experience. Whatever. It's fine. I shouldn't care about it too much. Telegames manufacture new systems? No. No. It'd be nice if someone manufactured new Jaguar systems. I don't think they make other new systems either. I don't think they make any sorts of clones or anything. They did make consoles back in the day, though. They made clone systems. That was a long time ago. Wolf 3D shouldn't have Telegames branding because it wasn't manufactured by Telegames. Wolfenstein 3D was a game published by Atari, not Telegames. Wait, what are you talking about, Design? I must have missed some chat. Not an original game, you got Worms from them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, Telegames manufactured Worms. That was one of their releases. Worms was one of their releases. Oh, very cool, Alex. Nice. It's a fun playthrough. Yeah, like I said, the Telegames manufacturing quality has gone down over the years. But on the flip side, you know, they do still manufacture the games, which is great. So, you know, people that are diehard Jag fans that want to drop the cash on their titles, they still can, and they're still official and legit. So, all right, let's check my map. Oops, there we go. And look at the map one more time. Alright, the middle door, that's right, okay. We've been streaming for a little over an hour. Man, I might need to take a bathroom break already. I pounded down some drinks right before I started. It's catching up with me. And these zombies are so dangerous. Alright, now we can go back. Yeah, like I said, I don't know where a ton of the secrets are in this game. So sometimes when I'm just, you know, running around like this, I'll go, let me hump this wall and see what happens. And then nothing happens and I'm sad with myself. Wolfenstein PD. Brought to you by Atari. Alright, I think I was actually down here this way. Check the map. Yeah, that's where I need to be. I might have to do an updated 3DO playthrough sometime in the near future. But first I want to do the Super Nintendo port. I've been meaning to do that for a while. I was going to actually do that first, but then I bought the Jaguar version again the other day. So here we are now. Jag version takes priority. I would have done the Jag version a long time ago, but I just haven't owned the game in years. I've just been holding out for the Jaguar flash cart, so... I don't have a Jag Pro controller. I bought one of the reproduction ones a couple of years ago, but it didn't really work right, so I sold it earlier this year. Well, you have to watch out for buying stuff on eBay when it comes to Jaguar games, because there are a lot of reproductions, like unofficial reproductions, you'll find on eBay. It's actually quite annoying. And a lot of these guys are also doing unauthorized reproductions of homebrews and stuff like that. It's kind of messed up, actually. The Jag scene in general can be pretty messed up. A lot of questionable stuff that goes on in that community. So, I try to stay out of it mostly. I just try to enjoy the games. Try to play the games. I've been playing this system since the late 90s, you know. So, I've been a fan of the Jaguar for a long time. But I kind of try to stay out of the community drama and stuff like that these days. It's just really annoying. Alright, let me switch to my flamethrower. And this is Dr. Shabs. Ooh, look at that frame rate drop, man, with all those projectiles on screen. Alright, that was fast. I was like, I've got the flamethrower, I might as well use it. But there's probably a secret here. Maybe not. Let's try the other side. Oh yeah, there's that too. Yeah, people just, they go straight to eBay for their stuff, not realizing Atari Age exists, and you can buy a lot of homebrews there, officially. Cheaper. Alright, so this is actually a, good time to go use the restroom. Jeez, that hurt. Alright, let's see if there's some health left over. Actually, we're at 89. 89's fine. Well, I don't know. So the secret was there. Maybe there's another one on this side. Wolfenstein 3D has a lot of things that are quite symmetrical, especially on the boss levels. So there we go. So I'll always search around on the boss levels. You know you're on a boss level because it always plays this music. Alright, there we go. Yeah, no, there are a lot of Jag fans that are fine, Dad. Absolutely. But the Jaguar the Jaguar community is much smaller than a lot of other communities, and so you end up running into those weird ones more frequently than you do with other fan communities. So, seen people bid up to $80 in Jagdoom. Now there's a copy there for $50 right now. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is true. It is much better now than it was 10 years ago. Yeah, there are some people in the scene 10 years ago that were just, oh, really, truly awful. And then they kind of just, like, buried themselves away behind locked doors on their own private forums, and it was kind of like good riddance, you know? It was just drama queens. So let's go ahead and save my game. And, we're going to go ahead and pause it, and I'm going to go use the restroom. So I will be right back, guys. So don't go anywhere. After getting some copyright claims on Doom music from shady ad rev companies, I don't really trust this, so it's actually kind of nice the music stops when I pause this. But, yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but there's the Jaguar. I've got the exposure and all that stuff way down, but there's the controller. So, we are in real hardware. I do real hardware for just about everything here. There's only a couple systems I emulate, and that's just because I don't have them modded, like a Nintendo DS. But, there we go. So, I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. So dark, so moody. Yeah. It's mainly just because of the exposure. So if I go to my properties on my camera, I can boost the exposure so there it's much brighter, but you'll notice that the frame rate chops up now. So if I bump it down, the frame rate's nice and smooth. So I guess it's not as many pixels to process since it's just seeing black in a lot of places. I don't know, just a theory. So in the moments where you do see my setup, you get a nice 60 FPS Jag controller movement. It's a much nicer in the eyes. Not that you see my setup very often when I'm streaming, but you know. All right, there we go. You guys will start seeing my background a little bit in Let's Play videos because I ran a poll just yesterday asking if you want me to bring the webcam back, and 75% of the people that voted said yes. So we're bringing it back. I actually recorded my first Let's Play with a cam today. So for non-patrons, I guess in about a week and a half, you'll see a webcam Let's Play. Alright, so I heard a door open, so I think enemies are kind of trickling in already. Yeah, I hear doors opening on the other side. Yep, there's one. And another. Yeah, Battlemorph, you're weird. I'm just gonna say it outright. And I mean that lovingly. No dogs were harmed in the making of this game. Yeah, as much as I do like the Jag controller, I can't imagine playing something like Thunder Force with it. Or Super Mario Brothers, or it's just I like it for Jag games, but I would never use it for other systems. So I could never say it's my favorite controller. For animal brutality. I do actually, now that you mention it, TubeWave, I actually really like the Virtual Boy controller. But, I mean, that's kind of like typical Nintendo high-quality stuff. I mean, the D-pads are really solid, the buttons are snappy. The Jaguar controllers, they've got mushy buttons and mushy D-pads, and the quality of your controller is going to vary depending on the internals. Because you've got black button or black keypad controllers, and you've got gray keypad controllers, and the black keypad controllers are more mushy than the gray keypad ones, but the gray keypad ones are still not great. It's weird. Controversial fandom. Yeah, I mean, Virtual Boy is one of those things where, like, there just aren't a lot of Virtual Boy fans out there, so you don't really hear... You don't hear people putting the Virtual Boy, like, up on a pedestal, but I do think you hear a lot of people talking more realistically about it. Like, hey, it's a game, it's a system with decent games that has a display method that just doesn't hold up very well. You know, the red and black I didn't mind that as a kid, but as an adult, it just, like, burns through my eyes, and it makes my eyes burn, and then I have to hunch over, and it's really uncomfortable in my back. So yeah, I loved it as a kid. I still love the library now, but I don't love how I have to play it, which is why I'm gonna try to get mine VGA modded sometime in the future. I've been saying that for months. I've had the VGA mod kit for a while, but I still have to pay to have it sent out and have someone actually install the mod. And then I need to buy a flash card for it. Yeah, we'll definitely do 3 Virtual Boy streams when that happens. And maybe even a couple of VB Let's Plays, depending on the size of some of the games. If I remember correctly, I think you can go through Teller Boxer pretty quickly. Kind of like Punch-Out. If you know what you're doing, you can go through it relatively quickly. Yeah, Windows 95 screensaver area. Man, that takes me back. We had Windows 95 machines all over, you know, high school back then, and so we would see that screensaver all the time. Alright, more flamethrowers. Yeah, Wario Land is great. I think Wario Land takes a couple hours to go through, though, so I probably wouldn't do a dedicated Let's Play, but I would definitely do a live stream. Yeah, 32X is actually in that category where, like, I almost feel it doesn't get enough credit. I think there are a lot of people that write off the 32X. It's just, like, this thing that only has, like, 3 or 4 good games on it, but I think that can't be farther from the truth. I mean, it's got close to 40 games available on it, and a lot of them are pretty decent. I think one of the issues with 32X is some games are more redundant than anything, because, like, you know, you can play them on other systems already. But, you know, the 32X does have some very fun games. For me, the Genesis is an interesting one, because, like, I almost can't imagine the Genesis without the 32X and without the Sega CD. The Sega CD in particular. I love the Sega CD. And the 32X just turns it into this sort of beast that's capable of running types of games that would be almost impossible to run at good frame rates on, you know, a bare-bones stock system. Or a Super Nintendo, you know? 32X Doom, as trimmed down as it is, it's still a ton of fun to play. It plays very well. Actually, I hate it when I have to say this, but it actually plays better than the Jaguar version of the game. Like, the controls are snappier, and I think it even runs at a couple frames smoother, so it actually feels like a smoother experience. Doesn't have all the content, but, you know, in this day and age, who cares? You know, you want all the content, you play PlayStation Doom, or you play one of the modern PC ports, or you go play the PC version. You know, this isn't 1995 anymore. Or 96, if you want to count, you know, the PS1 version. So... those things never work. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had too many problems with the 32X. You do have to be aware, though, it does have compatibility issues with certain Model 2 Genesis systems. The VA-Zeros, I believe. Which my 32X was giving me trouble, and then I realized my system was a VA-0. And so I had to get an adapter for it. And it was a known issue back in the day. Sega put out like an official service call about it in their documentation. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, mine have been decent over the years. Your one regret as a gamer is that you never played or owned a Sega CD. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, the Sega CD is solid, man. I would definitely recommend investing in one, Dad. The nice thing about it is you can burn CDRs, so you don't have to track down those expensive games. Or if you do something like a Mister, or... you know, you get one of the modern flash cards that have Sega CD support built in. You know, you can load ISOs onto that too. Well, hell, in that case, you don't even need the Sega CD at that point. You just buy that flash card. But the Sega CD is definitely worth diving into. So... I don't remember if I saved it or not, so I'm gonna save it. Hey, Galaxy Stranger. It is. Yeah, the Mister's great. Hey, Andy, what's going on? And Steven S. Sega. You picked up a 32X with a region switch. I've never heard of 32Xs having region switches. That's weird. Because the region functionality on the 32X was handled on the Genesis, I believe, not the 32X itself. I believe that's how it worked. That's interesting. I'm playing on not Maximum Death. I'm playing above normal. It's the first hard mode. Then there's a second hard mode called maximum death. Is it maximum carnage that I'm playing? I don't remember what that difficulty was called. But no, it's not the easiest and it's not normal. But it's also not the hardest. There are 4 difficulties. I'm playing on the 3rd difficulty. Soulfeast, Pitfall, Prince of Persia, Sonic CD. You gotta expand that library, man. You gotta experience what actual good games are like. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to say that. No, I did. Can you buy a USA 32X play region locked games from a Japanese Mega Drive? No. Japanese Mega Drive. No, you would need a North American Genesis for that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure on the Mega Drive and Genesis, the region locking's handled by the console, not the the base console, not the 32X. So I think you would need North American region Genesis console. Any games you would recommend for the Mega CD? Final Fight, Flashback, Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure, Batman Returns, Lords of Thunder, Eternal Champions, Challenge from the Dark Side, a bunch of the fighting games like Fatal Fury Special, Samurai Showdown, you know, stuff like that. A couple RPGs if you're into that sort of thing, like the Lunars. I heard Popful Mail is actually really good. It's more like an action RPG. Mortal Kombat is really solid on it. And NBA Jam is fantastic as well. Although that game might be a little pointless if you got NBA Jam TE on Jaguar, because that is a better version. Yeah, there's quite a few good games on Sega CD. Hey, John Smith, what's going on? On PS Now. Andy, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, the same one that was on 360, you can change it to that in the options menu. I think it defaults to the Japanese soundtrack, but in the options menu you can change it to the North American soundtrack. Super Street Fighter Ultimate. I've never heard of that. Is that like a modern homebrew or something? I would like to do a Let's Play of Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition on the not TurboGrafx, but PC Engine. That'd be fun. There is no Super Street Fighter Ultimate on Super Graphics. It doesn't exist. There was no Street Fighter for Super Graphics. It was only Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition for PC Engine. It was not a Super Graphics game. And it did not have Super in the title. It was just Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. It was a port of Street Fighter 2 CE from the arcade. But no, I have not specifically done that version. I would like to eventually. And actually, that's a good reminder. I should actually do a Let's Play of that. Maybe sooner rather than later. I haven't done anything PC Engine in a while, mainly because a lot of PC Engine stuff is really difficult, and I'm not very well practiced at them, and so I don't like doing Let's Plays where I can't get through the game consistently. I feel like it's a waste of time if I can't show off decent tricks and strategies and whatever. No, T-Wave, I don't think you listened to what I said. The region locking is handled by the base console, so your Genesis or Mega Drive. A US 32X isn't going to fix that. You need a US Genesis or Mega Drive to do that. Assuming I'm correct. I don't know if I'm 100% correct, but I believe that's how it works. So if you have a Japanese Mega Drive with the US 32X, the US 32X isn't going to do anything because the region locking's handled by your Mega Drive, not the 32X. So you would want a North American Genesis. Although if you're in Japan, then you could just get an American system. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. You know, you should be able to... I guess you could just run American systems on the Japanese power standard out there. You might still want, like, a converter, though. God, what are they called? Step-down converters. Or I guess you would want step-down for if you're running Japanese stuff in North America. But a lot of people still just do it without any converters. Maybe you could just run the North American units fine over there. You probably can. Don't quote me on that, though. Don't quote me on that. I do not plan on getting it. But that's the same thing I said about the Mega SG and Super NT, and then I did get them. Although I actually sold both of them earlier this year to fund my Mister. Oh, you're Dutch? You use Japanese and American consoles. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, I mean, in that case, if it's not too expensive, I would probably just spring for an American system if you can. They're really cheap over here, but if you're overseas, then they're... not sure how easy it would be for you to get one, or cheap, more specifically. Now, one thing you could try is, if you want to go the flash cart route, some flash carts will be able to patch the ROMs for you. And then you can play them that way on an import console. I haven't had great luck with that, but I know people have, so... it's definitely an option to look into. James Spencer, hey, what's going on? This game is why you own a Jaguar. Yeah, it's definitely one of the good reasons to own a Jaguar, for sure. I unfortunately can't really recommend the Jaguar in this day and age if you don't already own one, because the hardware is just skyrocketed in price, man. But if you do have a Jaguar, you know, this is a really good reason to keep it. I can't believe how high Jag prices have gone up, like console prices. It really sucks because, you know, I feel irresponsible recommending the system to people when it costs over $200 to get one. Yeah, especially if you're more on the collector end as well and you're trying to get one complete in box. Why? I come from a time where Jaguars were like $30 all day long for over a 10-year period. And then they started creeping up slowly, you know, 50, 75, then 100. Now, it is possible to get into it a little bit cheaper if you just buy, you know, the console only with a controller or whatever. But, you know, maybe you'll only get an RF switch with it, and then you need to get some composite cables. Or maybe you do RGB, so you'll need to buy some RGB cables. And then, you know, the prices start going up. But yeah, I do love me some Wolfenstein 3D on Jaguar. I like playing this more than Doom on Jaguar because, like I said earlier, I've got Doom on like every other system known to man, and I play a lot of PC Doom still. So, but Wolfenstein 3D, you know, even compared to the Super Nintendo and 3DO versions and PC versions, you know, or computer versions, is still very unique. There's our exit. I'm just gonna go ahead and exit because this level's kind of annoying. I mean, most levels in this game are maze-like, but this one especially, it's just like very tiny hallways. So yeah, basically the point was I don't put Doom on as high of a, you know, top reasons to own a Jaguar list these days. But Wolfenstein 3D is definitely up there for me. It's to me, it's one of the best reasons to have a Jaguar. But I'm also a big fan of the original Wolfenstein 3D. Always have been, always will be. Archaic by today's standards, but like I said, it's still a challenging game, and that's what makes it interesting for me. It's still difficult. I especially love the MS-DOS Wolfenstein 3D because the keyboard and mouse support on that is just, it's great. It's so fluid. And, you know, this was an era where, you know, computer games ran at 70 hertz. So, you know, we're used to 60 frames a second, but PC games back then, you know, would be even greater, about 70, 75 frames a second. And so it's just, the original MS-DOS Wolfenstein 3D still feels amazingly snappy and smooth. Hey, Kaza, yeah, Wolf 3D works alright on a gamepad. It works better on some systems than others. Like, again, it works better on 3DO because you've got separate strafe keys in that version of the game. You can strafe left and strafe right much faster. Whereas this, I have to stop what I'm doing, press the C button, then move left and right, then let go of C if I want to turn, hold C again, move left and move right. So, there's a lot of micromanagement with the controls on the Jaguar version. Much like playing, say, Doom on a Genesis controller. It's a very similar thing. Okay, I thought there was another one. Duke Nukem, yeah. Oh, you said hi earlier. Well, I probably did miss it. Yeah, we've had a lot of chat today, and I've been trying to focus on the game because, if you take your eyes off the screen in this game, you will die very quickly. I've been trying to just focus on the gameplay. I've also been ranting a lot. You know, this is usually what happens when we end up, you know, streaming games on consoles that are less popular than others. You know, we get people talking about certain subjects, and I end up feeling the need to rant and ramble. We are going to stream Super Nintendo Wolf 3D, eventually. I was going to do it this month, but then I bought the Jaguar version. So I was like, well, we're doing this one instead. Yeah, same here, Ronnie. I'm there with you. It's, you know, it's a great game. But I do prefer the feel of id Software's games. You know, be it Wolfenstein 3D, or Doom, or Quake. id Software games always have, like, a particular kind of smoothness to them. And a fluidity that is just different from the build engine games. I do find, like, the collision and stuff like that in id Software games just usually feels better. It's hard to explain, but... yeah. I was gonna say but something, but I don't know what. Alright, I do have to be careful because I'm getting a little bit lower on health. Or at least a little bit lower relative to where my health has been earlier in the playthrough. Oh, yeah, those weren't in the PC version. Or the original MS-DOS one. I mean, they were in the Macintosh version. Alright. Silver door. Still need the silver key. Alright, full health. Nice. Alright, so I have to remember that door. Let's see what my map's looking like. Okay, I still have to go in here. Okay, our key might be in here somewhere. The Jag seems to be better at 2D than PS1? Yeah, I don't think so. There's literally nothing on the Jaguar that supports that claim. There are some Jag fans in the community that will claim that all day long, but, you know, again, I kind of go back to one of my earlier responses, and I say, well, you probably haven't played many 2D games on PS1 then, if you're making that statement. You being silly? Oh, you... I'm gonna have to go back and look at the archive and see what you wrote. Because it says message retracted. Yeah, Ronnie. Yep. I mean, see, that's a fair statement. You know, you can wonder all day long. But there are a lot of examples on PS1, especially when you start diving into the import library where you have a lot of shoot-'em-ups and stuff like that. So, you know, shoot-'em-ups with 1,000 projectiles on screen. Maybe 1,000 is an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. You look at something like Gradius Gaiden and be like, can the Jaguar do that? Maybe? You know? How well could the Jaguar handle something like Silhouette Mirage? I do wonder if the Jaguar would have been able to handle something like In the Hunt pretty well. Alright, so mission 4. There are 6 missions total. So we're getting near the end of mission 4. Happy gaming, be cool. Word. Because the joke was lame? Well, you should leave your lame jokes in the history books, man, where people can read them. Instead of wiping them away. Alright, so this is our boss level. Hey, Emil, what's going on? I am good. What was the joke? let's hear it again. Yeah, this is actually the Uber Mutant boss fight. On some of these boss levels, like, you'll wake all the enemies up and they'll just keep trickling towards you. And so you kind of got to be careful. Yeah, I'm not getting that joke. But then again, my mind is in a different place right now. So our boss, I think, is actually in this cubby here. I just woke everybody up. You wrote before, but guess I missed it. Yeah, sometimes I miss things, guys. You're the second person to say that. Oh, shit, there he is. Notice me, master. Notice me. Okay, this is bad. Oh, jeez. If you couldn't tell, you can die pretty quickly at the hands of these guys. I don't trust him. Buttocks? Buttocks? Oh. Where'd you go? Are you... Oh, I don't trust this. There he is. Okay. Just gonna wait for him. A little scary. Whew, there we go. Man, that was rough. Alright, now I'm going to deal with the rest of the enemies, because there are also enemies in this level, too. Some more zombies and guys like that. Or some other mutants, I should call them. Alright, I think that should be fine. Hey, Cafe Man, how are you doing? The AI patterns? Underestimating them. I don't know what you're talking about. Dude, they literally just have hit scan weaponry and that's it. They see you, they hit you. It's not really that complex. And they hit hard. They've always hit hard. Doesn't matter what version you're playing. What I'm struggling with is not the boss patterns. What I'm struggling with is my controls. You know, in the 3DO version, I can be sliding at an angle as I'm turning to quickly weave in and out of, you know, doorways and things like that. In this version, I have to literally, like, stop, turn around, move forward. It's like, you know, because my controls just aren't that flexible. So that is definitely a downside to this version of the game. Now, you live with it, you know, which is why, like, you know, I was quickly trying to turn around, bolt through the doors, wait for him to come through a door, get a few pot shots on him, and then just rinse and repeat. Not many other strategies you can go by, unfortunately. Yeah, it's very unforgiving, especially, you know, if you're playing on these higher difficulty levels. And I wouldn't be surprised if they adjusted, you know, the damage output for the console versions, higher difficulties. $121 health, I like that. Some of the music is the same. Some of it is different. Alright, let's go back. Yeah, what Ronnie said. Oh yeah, this part's kind of annoying. You've got these like little cubbies to the left and right hand side. Enemies are hiding in pretty much all of them. Alright, I don't remember if the key is down this way. I'm gonna go back. What's up, Serpent Sword? How are you doing? Yeah, the 3DO soundtrack is pretty damn good for what it is. And honestly, I don't think this one has many more tracks either. Its tracks loop pretty frequently. But one thing I do like about this soundtrack in particular is that it is using the PC music on the Jaguar sound hardware. And it, you know, I've always loved the original MS-DOS soundtrack. The 3DO version replaces it with this super, like, symphonic, orchestral, kind of bombastic soundtrack. You'll never hear do 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 like you do in this one. You'll just never hear something like that in the 3DO soundtrack. So there are things I like and dislike about both versions of the game, like relative to the source material, which is the MS-DOS version. So like I said, you still have to make some, you know, quick decisions here. Like, this is actually a really tough room because, you know, if you come out just a little bit, enemies from both these hallways see you. And they'll both come out after you at the same time. Which is hard to deal with. When you got enemies on both sides of you, it's tough to deal with. Hey, DJ. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well tonight. Jaguar Wolf has 15 songs? Really? Man, see, it doesn't feel like it when I'm playing through this game. Maybe I'm just so used to the Wolfenstein soundtrack in general that it just doesn't even really faze me at all. Alright, so we've got a gold door there. It feels like it should be a secret, but it's not opening up. Let's try these other walls. No? Weird. Oh, there's an option menu to access a sound test? That's really cool. I didn't know that. Oh, Night Trap. What a game. I actually put a lot of time into Night Trap back in the day. The, ironically, the 32X version in particular. Since we were talking about 32X earlier. Alright. Still no key. Let's check our map. Alright. A couple doors out here. So one thing with my playstyle is, I like to strafe left and right a lot. To sort of like peek around corners. And I like to do that through doorways as well. But the problem is that the strafe button is on the use button. And so what ends up happening sometimes is I'll end up trying to strafe, but then I'll end up shutting the door right in my face. Just plain safe. Alright, there's my key. We're actually making pretty good work of this game. We're pretty far into it. We've only been playing for 2 hours. So that's nice. I don't remember if the gold door was out here or if it was the silver. It's gold. Okay, good. Alright, another level down. So we're on Mission 5, Floor 3 now. Alright, gold door. Yeah, I didn't hear any of those guys until they started shooting at me. That's why it's good to just peek around corners, but I ran through the room assuming it was empty. And it was most certainly not empty. Alright, it's back to the beginning. Alright, blue door. So they got to go back to the beginning again. Let's try this one. What's behind door number 73,500? More enemies. Means I'm going the right way, usually. Thanks for that ammunition. Alright, back to the gold door. Whoa, look at those dogs go, man. Look at them just skip across the screen. It's crazy. Crazy dogs. Alright, blue door again. And actually... Okay, so it is actually... We do actually probably have to go in there. Okay. Alright, so we have to loop all the way back around. Christmas early 90s. Yeah, those parents are really dumb, though. We bought a game called Grand Theft Auto! As if, like, it wasn't obvious enough the game probably shouldn't be for kids, just in the name itself. Stupid parents. The world is filled with really dumb people like that. Yeah, some of the maps are a lot more faithful than others, Ronnie, for sure. Hey, Jeff Metal, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Mission 5, floor 4 now. Yeah, no, I mean, PCs could run Wolfenstein at probably the full frame rate, full 60 plus FPS by 1994, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, this isn't even that smooth compared to, you know, the PC version. And like I said, it chops up. Like, when you get close to walls, it gets really choppy for some reason. Jaguar just can't handle that single texture on screen at a time. It's not that the Jaguar can't handle it. This game was probably whipped up pretty quickly, actually. So it's not like, you know, they spent years polishing this thing. Well, right, Ronnie. It ran at 70 hertz, but it doesn't mean you're going to get, you know, 70 frames a second on a low-end 386. You know what I mean? You'll still get bad frame rates if your hardware can't keep up with it. But yeah. Doom's chain gun. Very similar to it, yeah. This was made and ported by the company that made Doom, so... Yep. Steam version can't hit 30 FPS. It's because you're not boosting the clock cycles on DOSBox. That's what a lot of people don't realize when they play those Steam versions. They're just pre-configured, they're just pre-configured to work with DOSBox. That comes bundled with it, and then you still have to tweak DOSBox afterwards to get it working correctly. But a lot of people don't go through that extra step. So I think it's Control F12 or Control F11, I forgot which one it is, to boost the clock cycles on DOSBox. And that's how you get the Steam version running smoothly. But you're also better off going into the DOSBox config, which is an it's a config file you can bring into a text editor. You can change a whole lot of other things, like the graphics filter they use. So in DOSBox version Wolf 3D on Steam is kind of blurry by default, so you need to go into the DOSBox config to sharpen things up, things like that. The best way to play Wolfenstein 3D on a modern system, though, is to download EC Wolf, which is a great source port. You can point it to your Wolfenstein files in your Steam directory. And then you can run it at glorious 1080p at 60 plus frames a second, depending on your refresh rate of your monitor. Yeah, Desan, yeah, source ports are great. I mean, I still love running Wolfenstein 3D on my Windows 95 computer, though. Playing it on my VGA CRT monitor. Alright, let's go through here. Yeah, it's actually funny playing Wolfenstein MS-DOS on my VGA CRT feels better than playing EC Wolf because it's actually running at a higher refresh rate. Because all my flat panel displays are all 60 Hertz, and that's it. Whereas my CRT is 70 Hertz. 70 or 75, I forgot what it was. So Wolfenstein feels so buttery smooth on that monitor. Alright, let's take a look at our map. Okay, so I have to go back to the beginning. Oh, I've got the blue key, or silver key, whatever it is. I will take that. Yeah, Mike, definitely. But that's why you need to play, like, you know, smart. You know, if you play Wolfenstein 3D aggressively, it's, you're gonna have enemies just slam right into you and catch you off guard. The thing I hate the most is, you know, when you encounter the zombies at first, you know, you can't hear them. They don't make any call-outs or anything. And so, like, they'll sneak up on you and you'll turn around and there'll be a guy right in your face. Those will actually, like, almost scare me in a way because, you know, I'm not used to being caught off guard like that in games. What does the machine gun look like? You never seen the Jaguar version of Wolfenstein 3D. Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you until I die because you can't actually cycle back to your knife, pistol, or standard machine gun. So, I'd have to start a new game to show that off. But I think what I'm going to do is, like, we're making really good progress. We're almost done with this episode, and we just have a few more levels to go. So what I'll probably do is start another run on the hardest difficulty. I probably won't play all the way through it because I'm ridiculously tired, man. I haven't gotten any sleep this week, and yeah, I had to work all day today, so. But I would like to show off at least what the hardest difficulty looks like in terms of the wacky enemy movement. So I can hear the doors opening all over the place, so I want to just kind of wait. Hey, Freddy, welcome back. So what did you miss? You missed like 80% of the game. You've missed a lot of it. Play Wolfenstein forever. I wish, man. I seriously wish. What I'd love to do is fire up just the MS-DOS version right after this. But I don't think I could do that. I mean, I could, but I don't know. Probably not going to happen. I'll probably just stick with the Jaguar version tonight. But every time I play a console Wolfenstein 3D, I do want to fire the PC version right after. It's just what happens. Okay, so this is actually, I think on this level, you got some secrets on these outer walls here. Not this... oh, there we go. I don't really need these secrets right now, but if I died and I tried to restart, you know, you get... all your guns and health get reset, so... this would be a good secret to find, because then you'd be able to get your chain gun. Yeah, I heard about that encrypted printer. Was that something that was ever made available as like a leak or anything like that? Definitely something I'd be interested in seeing. There's no map at all. This is true, Streets, yeah. Now, if you do play her with a source port, like EC Wolf, then... oh, you've got to be kidding me. That's our first death, man. That's the first time I died this entire playthrough. Do I have a favorite Wolfenstein game? It's Wolfenstein 3D, yeah. Wolfenstein 3D and Spirit Destiny, those are my favorites. I played some of the newer ones, but I wasn't really... I don't know, I didn't really get into them. Although I do still want to go back and try to do Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I have that, and I run it on my Windows 98 machine. So yeah, now you get an example of what happens when you die. And here's your machine gun. So I'll try to recover just as is. We'll see if I can do it. Yeah, and I died there because I just... you know, I wasn't playing smart. And I paid the price. So not only did I lose my chain gun and my backpack, which extends my ammo, but I also lost my flamethrower and my rocket launcher. So if I die again, I'll, well, I don't know if I saved it now. I'm trying to remember if I saved it. I already forgot. Hey, Micah, what's going on? Good to see you again. Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how few people seem to be familiar with this version of the game. Oh yeah, one other interesting feature is you'll notice that the enemies are somewhat randomized. The last time we got here, it was just one of the regular, like, orange Nazis. Or brown ones. Yeah, so the enemies will be cycled around in this version. That it's actually something that's kind of interesting. I don't know if that happens in the Super Nintendo one. But, yeah, it happens in this one. Yeah, see, and again, you can't hear the zombies. Like, they don't make any callouts. They don't make any noises until they start shooting. So you want to activate them, then let them come after you, like this. And if I had done that last time, I would have been fine. I would have been perfectly fine. Alright, let's go this way. Alright, I think there was a locked door down here. Yeah. Let's do some wall humping. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay. Well, you gotta remember, Dad, this is the YouTube age, man. Everyone's got access to YouTube. I figured most people would have looked up gameplay of this by now. It's not like YouTube's a new thing. So, you don't need to own a console or really even look into it too deep to, you know, see some of the games. I figured more people would have looked up gameplay of some of the id Software games in particular because it's id Software, you know, it's one of the best game developers. Well, one of the best Western developers ever. So. There's not a great deal of Jag Doom content. It might be why some of my playthroughs of it actually get decent views relative to, like, what my videos typically get. But that also surprises me too, because, I mean, I don't know. Let's check my map again. Wolf 3D, rather? Well, you know what I need to do then? I need to do another run of this offline. And then just post it to my... I've got a side channel where I just post long plays. So if there's not a lot of Wolf 3D full content like that, then I should do that. I already... Pretty sure... Yeah, I already went into that room. I think I got stuck on this map the last time I played it. Because it's just a little obtuse. Alright, so let me actually go backwards. There's actually a little spot that's open that I might have missed. Whoa there! Okay, apparently I did not come to here. Well, I actually have like 5 different side channels. It depends on the content that you want. But no, it's gameplay, no talk. That's what the channel's called. It's got a similar logo to my gameplay and talk logo, but it's orange and it has an X through it. It's a very lazy channel. There's no editing or anything. I basically just take my Let's Plays and post them without commentary. But occasionally, I'll have just a night where I'm super bored, and I'll just I'll record a bunch of gameplay clips, and I'll post those as well. Actually, I meant to go back there, and I stopped partway through. But I also have a game music channel where I post game music. I have a pinball channel where I do like pinball tutorials and post my pinball live stream archives. I've got a personal channel that I haven't really uploaded to recently, but... And then I have a channel for my Twitch archives, because my Twitch is like, I don't really take Twitch seriously. But there are still people that like to go watch those archives, so I post those on a different channel as well. Yeah, but Gameplay No Talk is the gameplay only channel. Alright, no enemies, but also no key. What am I missing now? Let's see. The Patchouli channel! I should, actually. But no, Patchouli gets on camera on my Twitch stream sometimes, and so I actually have a playlist of just her on that channel. Alright, what the hell level? I've got a map and I'm still getting lost. That's pathetic. Yeah, there's that too, Dasun. There's some people that definitely prefer watching archives on YouTube, not Twitch. It's also nice archiving them to YouTube because some people will like to watch these videos while they're at work. Now, a lot of places will block Twitch, but they won't block YouTube, ironically. Alright, what the hell? What am I doing wrong? I'll take that, though. Thought there was another secret around here. Yeah, I'm missing that backpack pretty badly, though. Like, my ammo cap is 150 right now, I believe. This could be one of those situations where I actually ran across the key, but then just missed it. Oh no, this is it. Okay. Yep. Okay, I had just apparently missed that door completely. Yeah, that exact same thing happened to me in my last playthrough of this. The price is right. Nice. Is 360 backwards compatible with original Xbox games? It's compatible with quite a few of them, but the quality of the compatibility varies from game to game. And you do have to download patches for each game, so you need to make sure your 360 is still connected to the internet. It's like, it's not going to work with a lot of those just out of the box. You'll have to download just like a teensy tiny patch just to get it working. Honestly, if you've got a choice, having an original Xbox along with your 360 is the best way to go. Yep, spacebar in every wall. What was nice about the MS-DOS version is that you could just hold down the spacebar and then just... you could just hold down the spacebar. In the console versions, you have to actually keep tapping the button. Alright, I need to save it just in case I die. I don't want to lose my stuff again. This is actually a tough level. Okay, no, my cap is 250. Okay. I didn't get a backpack. I don't think I got a backpack. Yeah, so really dangerous level. All these doors open. Enemies just funnel through. So I'd like to come back here. Take them out one by one. Yep. This is a boss level. Yep. Yeah, we're only a few levels away from the end of the game, by the way. Okay. Guy was taking a sweet time. So I wanted to activate those guys, and then again, bolt back through here. Alright, I need to come into here. Speaking of PS3, I wish I was able to buy that Doom Classic Complete before it was delisted. I've played Doom on just about every other platform. The PS3, I think, is like the only system, really. Ooh, there's some graphical glitching going on there. That was interesting. Just for a split second. You got an Xbox Series X for a reasonable price. Very nice, man. Congrats. I still have the option to buy a Series X off my friend that got one on day one. We unboxed it here. But he seems like he's enjoying it, and I don't really have the money right now. But I would definitely like to have one. But it's not... I realize it's not a huge priority now, because I do have an Xbox One X. So it's not like I'm dying for something better. Especially since I don't do a ton of modern games. I mostly play retro-style games on my Xbox One. Especially my 360 Xbox Live Arcade library. Alright, we're back to having a flamethrower, which is nice. Good. It's good to have that backup option in case you run out of bullets. Alright, if you're there, who else is? No one. Okay. Alright, let's come through here first. Crap, that's the boss. Alright, I need to get out of here. And I'm disappointed. He didn't say his whole call out. He's supposed to go, Guten Tag! It's like one of the best voice call-outs, I think, from this era. Guten Tag! And it's like kind of echoey. It's classic, man. Good day! Oh, man. Where'd you go? Okay, there you go. Now, he actually shoots out projectiles. Some bosses do that. It's uncommon, but some do. Yeah, that hurts. Hey, we're back to the knife, because I'm out of ammo. Although, I should be able to get some more ammo back here. Another reason why this secret is good. Although, can I do it with 90 bullets? Whoa, jeez. I'm gonna make my last stand in here, which is probably oh, good. Alright, good. That was scary. Basically running back there with, like, no ammo. Alright, well, we're good. And there was some ammo there, too. I should have checked there first, but I figured he probably would have cornered me. Yeah, I always forget if he's down this way or if he's down this way. No secret, huh? Interesting. I think that's it. Oh, no. There's a doggo. There we go. Ooh, 2 backpacks. Nice. Alright, let's get out of here. Hey, John Evan. Damn. Oh man, the new console PC versions of Doom sweeten the deal with widescreen. Yeah. Oh no, they are good. But if you're on PC, I mean, I think going with something like GZ Doom is even better. You have even more features, and it's not even hard to get set up at all. But if you want to, you know, kind of do it the official way, quote unquote, yeah, those modern ports are pretty good now. They had some rough patches in the beginning. Do I ever go with mouse look in these old shooters? No. I only go with mouse look if the option was there originally. So, like build engine games, for instance, Duke Nukem, Blood. And in those, I will toggle mouse look. I won't play with mouse look all the time because movement feels awkward to me if I have it enabled at all times. So I'll just use it in specific moments where it's actually handy. Because there are a lot of times where you don't need to be looking up or down in these old first-person shooters. But Doom, no, I never use free look in my source ports. Unless the source port specifically unless the WAD specifically calls for it. There are... I hate this part because I get stuck on these walls. There are some WADs that will call for mouse looking. So... most of the WADs I play, though, are more just like traditional, like slaughter WADs. I don't do a lot of fancy WADs. Although I would like to, you know, branch out with more of the ambitious WADs. God, there's one I have on my computer from a few years ago that just like brought my system to its knees years ago, but that was with an older version of GZ Doom. But it was one of the ones I think required mouse looking. I forgot what it was called. I'd have to go through my WADs list. But yeah, basically I try to play traditionally if I can. You know, as that's how the games were originally designed to be played. But some of them, like Duke Nukem 3D, you know, it was also designed to have mouse look. But it was more common to use it as like a toggle option back in the day. So I still like to use it like that way because it just feels more natural to me. I said WADs too many times. Well, I mean, they're called WADs. What else do you want me to call them? WADS. When I think WAD, I think Doomwad. And I have an idea of what you're probably thinking. So get your mind out of the gutter. Hey, Greg, what's going on, man? Never tried the Jag version. Cool to see it. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have said that today. I'm glad to be able to show it off. I've been wanting to stream this game for such a long time. Funny enough, when I first started my YouTube channel, this was one of the first videos I ever did. It's not on my channel anymore. I deleted a lot of those old videos because they were just like camcorder videos shot at the TV. But since then, yeah, I haven't really been able to do it. Dasan was telling me last night that there's some kind of secret near the jail cell area, and there might be a hidden map that we can access from here, but I don't know. Oh, maybe that's it? Let's see. Oh, okay. That's it. Alright, we're gonna come back and do that, because I've never done that before. You actually find a key at the very end of this level. You can come back and use it on that door. But yeah, personally, I say, you know, play classic first-person shooters however you want. But for me, you know, I grew up playing these games back in the day, so the natural way for me to play is how they were originally designed to be played back in the day. So Doom, I don't use mouse look, I just rely on the traditional auto-aim. Now, with modern source ports, I do turn off certain features depending on the WAD I'm playing. So if I'm playing like a slaughter WAD with thousands of enemies, and you got cacodemons flying on top of you all the time, along with Lost Souls, then I will turn off infinite height, which means that you can actually run under and over enemies. But mouse look, I leave off, and I just stick with the original traditional auto-aim system. Yeah, and Dasan, in particular, since he was there watching me play this last night, it was actually good I finished this on Twitch, because, like, I'm feeling much more comfortable with these maps now. Yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of streams where I haven't been practicing beforehand, and so I just kind of play sloppily, or, you know, like with my Dark Souls streams, for instance, I end up having to relearn certain parts of the game completely, which is not fun. It's fun for some people to see. They like to see me rage. But, I prefer to have smooth runs. Go through the games nice and, you know, in a fluid manner. Goose waffles. Well, there's no reason for you to do keyboard-only controls, Micah. Because all these games were designed with mouse support in mind. A lot of people like to say that, oh no, these games were designed to be played keyboard-only. It's like, no, they actually, mouse support was there right from the very beginning. It's in the options menus for both Wolfenstein and Doom. Now, whether you actually played with the mouse is a different story, but they were absolutely designed to be played with a mouse and keyboard. So once you add the mouse into it, it's way more natural. Your aiming is so fluid compared to a D-pad on a controller. So if you ever do decide to try these on computer, again, use a mouse. Hey, Uno Squid, how's it going? Wolfenstein is a little more awkward because if you play it traditionally, then you don't have individual strafe left and strafe right keys. It's a singular strafe key like this version of the game has. And that's how I play it because that's how I've always played it. But in modern source ports of Wolfenstein 3D, you can enable you know, individual strafe left and strafe right keys. Alright, running low on health. This is actually the end. Alright, so right here, you can open this. And there we go. Serpent Sword watched me play a version of this once. Yeah, that was probably a long time ago. I think you've been subbed for a long time. Yeah, and actually, you know what? I might still have the casual look at from like 2012 or 2013 now that I think about it. That might still be on my channel. Those videos were awful. I don't even know how I'm still making YouTube videos. Going back and looking at that, some of that content, it's like my current content isn't even good. What? You go back and you look at the older stuff, it's like, oh my god. How did I stay motivated? Alright, so I have to go back towards... let me look at the map again. We already got an Unreal Tournament 4. It's the Unreal Tournament from 2014. That's technically UT4. And you can still download it on the Epic Game Store. Yeah, they abandoned it, pretty much. But it's been propped up by the community a little bit. And you can still play it for free. And it's still a lot of fun. I do recommend it. I actually downloaded it for the first time about a year ago. Oh man, I binged that game for like a few weeks straight, at least. I loved it. I played a lot of Unreal Tournament over the years, going all the way back to 99. And I even played a crap ton of Unreal Tournament 3, even though a lot of people didn't like it. Okay, so if this takes me to a secret level, I have no idea what I'm doing here, because I've never been to it. Could very well just be a secret. Might just be a secret, not a secret level. Yeah, Dasan was telling me there was a secret level, but I don't know for sure. Alright, let me try that. And this. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. It's entirely possible if there is a secret level here, it could be somewhere else in the maze, and I'm not wall humping. I'm not going on a wall humping craze right now. Too many walls to hump. Yeah, and actually, you know what? You always had trouble with the mouse in these games? Enabling mouse look also enables move mouse? Well, no, that's how these games originally were. You could move forward and backwards with the mouse in both Wolfenstein and Doom. Wolfenstein, it was a lot more, more noticeable. Alright, I'm going to look up Wolfenstein on my channel, because I'm kind of curious now. Let's see. Wolfenstein. Yeah, I do still have my casual look at. Okay, from 2012. So that's probably the last time Serpent Sword saw that. Man, that is some old stuff right there. And of course, Ronnie had commented on it. It's crazy, Ronnie goes all the way back 12 years. Oh, man. Oh, man, what's really interesting is actually looking at comments on this and seeing people that made their subscriptions public. I've got people on here that have been subbed since, like, you know, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. It's crazy. Actually quite a few comments on there. It's so old. But yeah, I just wanted to verify when that video was. It's crazy. It's so old. The secret level is only in the DOS version. That would actually make sense to me because Dasan does mix up his info. Yeah, actually, I think Dasan, you had mentioned something the other night when I was playing this. You're like, oh, there's something here and here. And I was like, oh, no, I think you're confusing it for the DOS version. Actually, no, I think it was just this level, actually. You were saying how big it was and how much of a pain in the ass it was. But in the Jag version, it's actually not that large. It's pretty easy to go through. And, okay, no, this is the right way. Yeah, well, I definitely got the secret key and I got the secret door. Unless there's another one that I'm unaware of. But we'll just assume that it doesn't exist. It'd be cool if it does exist. I'd like to see it. I'm going to assume this version has hidden levels in it. I don't know if I've ever actually gotten to them. The sound bounces back around, like, between different versions of games a lot. So, it's easy. I mean, I do the same thing, too, sometimes. I get info mixed up. Because I play so many different versions of the same games. You've wanted a proper new Quake sequel for years. It's like, it's forgotten about it. Well, they do still support Quake Champions. Is Quake Champions technically Quake 5, then? I mean... I don't know. You could say yes. But then again, like, if we're counting... Well, it doesn't have 5 in the name. But it is more traditional Quake than Enemy Territory Quake Wars was. There was a Quake 3 that was just a multiplayer arena shooter, so I don't see why not. You know, if you try to analyze it like that. Yeah, I need to do a Quake Champions stream sometime soon. I have a feeling no one will watch it, but I do still want to go back and play that game again. Along with Unreal Tournament 2014. Have I been to QuakeCon? I have not. QuakeCon was halfway across the country. I never had the funds to go to it. I really wanted to go back in the day when I was into the LAN party scene a little bit. And I was very heavily into Quake. Starting to get into Doom and Wolf, so this is looking like I should buy the games. Yeah, you should. They're great games. Oh there. Hello. Guten Tag. Yeah, see, I had a feeling the door behind me was going to open up as well, because a lot of these enemies are voice activated, even through doors. Doom, Killing Time, Alone in the Dark, Myst, Gex, Need for Speed, and Starfighter. Yeah, I'd recommend Samurai Showdown, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. You already have Gex, which is good. You already have Alone in the Dark. I would have recommended that. Wolfenstein 3D is a must. I mean, especially if you like the Jaguar version. Need for Speed. Okay, you got that. That's good. That's another top game for me. Road Rash. Its version of Flashback is really good. Escape from Monster Manor, if you like really basic first-person shooters. It's more of a Wolfenstein 3D style one, but it runs really smooth. Very basic, you only get one kind of weapon, but it's fun. I like it. I actually meant to stream that back in October, but I didn't have enough, you know, space freed up in my month to be able to do it. Star Control 2. A lot of people say the Wing Commander games are pretty good, but I've never played them. Blade Force I recommend as a really interesting tech demo. I'm not sure if the game itself is actually really all that great. I've never been able to make it very far in it. It's a great looking game. Starfighter. Did you say you already have Starfighter? You already have Starfighter. Okay. Yeah, give me more time to think about it, and I can definitely mention some other games for sure. I have a soft spot for Icebreaker. Really fun, like top-down puzzle shooter. Very interesting. And there's a bunch of other stuff on it that's pretty cool. Oh, Captain Quasar is pretty fun as well. Okay, this is actually kind of bad. There we go. Yeah, so I think earlier I had complained about similar rooms that we just went through, where like there were a bunch of enemies just like shoved in those cubbies. This was actually the level I was thinking of. It wasn't the previous level, but it's the same design choice where you walk in, you've got these cubbies to the left and right, but this level does it multiple times back to back, and so it can catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. It has 3 rooms, 4 rooms with this. Oh my god. Yeah, so that can be rough. Is Doom 2016 meant to be a remake or a sequel? I have no idea. You'd have to ask id Software. Whatever it was an awesome game. And that's what I care about. Oh god, Shadow War Succession. Okay, Dad, now you're just trolling, man. Some people really like PO'd. I never got that far into it to really start enjoying it. Like, admittedly, it doesn't feel very good when you first start playing it. Like, you start with a frying pan. It's one of the most unsatisfying weapons to use in the history of gaming. And you're stuck with it for a little while. Then the game's got this one, like, bouncy level really early on. It's got horrible frame rate problems. So that game's always left kind of a bad taste in my mouth. But apparently it gets more fun later on in the game. Yeah, Battlemorph, that's dumb. Just gotta say it outright again, it's dumb. And that's Dark Souls 3 though, Encrypted Printer. It's different. Dark Souls 3 is actually a good game. Actually, again, with PO'd, I can't comment too much on it because I never got very far. It's one of those games I do want to go back to. If the next Doom had a co-op multiplayer campaign, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't care that much because I would never play it. Just like I never play Classic Doom in co-op. But Classic Doom had co-op. So it would honestly make sense for them to bring it back. I'd be down. I mean, anything that gives the game more flexibility, I'm down for. 100%. As long as the core single-player experience is still there, which is what Doom, you know, has always excelled at, then yeah, I'm all for it. Battlemorph, Cybermorph sequel. I'd imagine the Jag fans here know of it. Most other people probably don't. We don't have a lot of hardcore Jag fans in here right now. Alright, so I kind of want to open this, open that, shoot, and then run back through here. Oh crap, why did you do that? Why did you run backwards? This game. Battlemorph definitely has some design choices that, you know, make it rise above Cybermorph for sure. Some really interesting features design, like being able to go underwater now. And when you go underwater, the music changes just on the fly. It's really good. Not many games on CD platforms did that. R-Type Delta was one of the only other games I can think of that does it just as well. Then you can go into these tunnels that take you to different areas underground. The mission structures are well, you actually have missions now. It's not all just collect the pods. And it's vastly improved over Cybermorph. Is it a game for everyone? I don't think so. Not by a long shot. None of those mission-based games are, if you ask me. They don't have wide appeal. But it is a solid game. It is definitely a solid game. It's definitely one of the, what I would call, good Jaguar games. Much like Iron Soldier, though, it's a good Jaguar game that doesn't have wide appeal. Not everyone's into those mission-oriented games. You know, sometimes they just want to run and gun and that's it. But it is a solid game. Doom 64 was the real Doom 3. Yeah. I can agree with that. Oh, you did finish Iron Soldier? Wow. It's a tough game. Yeah, Iron Soldier is a very challenging game. I never did finish it, but I've always wanted to. Alright, my health is pretty low. How long until Robo Hitler? Just a couple levels. So we're on mission 3 of, or mission 6, level 3. Yeah, probably not that much longer to go. Iron Soldier is impossible. Well, if Dasan's beating it, it's definitely not impossible. Am I? Am I, Dad? I don't know, man. Pretty sure Battlemorph is a Jaguar owner. Dasan's a Jaguar owner as well. I know that for sure. Goose waffles. Alright, let's look at our map. Hey, McMuffins, what's going on? You're referring to you? Oh, gotcha. All right, so I got the silver keys, yeah, so I can go back up. Yeah, the Jaguar Wolfenstein 3D soundtrack is not a great example of what the Jaguar sound hardware can do. But I still like some of the renditions. Ah, caught me off guard. Yeah, I mean, if you want, like, really good Jaguar music, you want to listen to something like Zol 2 or Tempest 2000. Even Val de Isier skiing and snowboarding has a really, really sweet soundtrack. I'm going to do a dedicated stream of that game, too, in the near future. Actually, you know, funny enough, I picked up a copy of that right before October. My Jag collection right now is super small because I've been waiting for the flash cart. The Jag game drive. But I did pick up a couple games here and there. Just to get some random Jag streams in. Well, I mean, I wouldn't really agree there, Dad. Like, I don't think Defender 2000 has a great soundtrack. I mean, it definitely kicks more than this. But, and then Breakout 2000, it doesn't have a very good soundtrack at all. So, no, not anything with 2000 in the name fits. You wouldn't mind playing Jagzul 2 again? I have a love-hate relationship with that game. The early levels I feel are really fun. With levels 5 and 6 in particular just being nightmares to play through. Just really poorly designed stuff. But level 1 in particular, I think it's a lot of fun. Even level 2, even though it's got kind of like a really kind of... I don't want to say muted, but it doesn't have a heavy-hitting soundtrack on level 2. It's still a fun stage, though, like, layout-wise and whatnot. Oh, well, so, Dasan, the 2 Zool 2 videos I have on my channel that are full playthroughs, I get through them just fine. Well, not really just fine. I do struggle a little bit. But you can see just how wacky the level design is and how not good it is with how fast Zool 2 moves. The kind of platform you have to deal with might have worked fine with a much slower paced game, but Zool 2 moves at like lightning speed at all times. You know, it's not like Sonic the Hedgehog, where Sonic can go really fast, but it takes him a little while to get up to speed. Zool is just like, boom, instant run right away, and it's very difficult to deal with on some of the later platforming sections, where the platforms are only about twice as wide as Zool is. Alright, so this is actually a really big map. And I want to try to kill these guys in each of these rooms, otherwise they'll be sniping me from a distance. Alright, there we go. Do I go this way? I don't remember. Okay, I don't think I want to go down there just yet. Yeah, Zool 2 is one of those games where it's like, some of the levels I think are a lot of fun. Others, mainly the late levels, are just very extremely frustrating experiences. That was weird. My monitor just glitched out for some reason. It went black for a second. Even though the gameplay on the capture was fine. That was weird. Actually, it hasn't happened in a long time. That used to happen all the time. Yeah, Sonic-like momentum, but you have to take time with your movement. Yeah, that's... Honestly, that's probably what Zool should have been. The games would have been a whole lot more playable if that was the case. Alright, so there's actually a secret here. You can see a key back there. I don't know how these guys are supposed to get out, but... I'm saving some of these guys and then I'm killing them. I'm such an asshole. Oh yeah, I can't even imagine playing Zool 2 on an Amiga. Having to press up to jump. Ugh. Dude, just the thought of it makes me shiver. Yes it is, Freddy. Yeah, I got ported to modern systems. Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One. And PC. And it's a very good conversion. Highly recommend it. It's honestly, it's the best way to play Doom 64. Yeah, it honestly does on as much as I would have probably loved an Amiga back in the day. It makes me grateful for growing up with PC gaming, because you would rarely have to press up to jump in PC games, because they knew that you'd have a full keyboard to work with, and most joysticks had, you know, at least 2 buttons on them. So even my PC platformers, I never had to press up to jump. Although then again, there were some, like, quick Amiga ports to MS-DOS. Like, I think Zool 2 on MS-DOS, you might have still had to press up to jump in that. I don't remember. Wasn't Atari ST more popular in the UK? I thought they were about even. I thought the Amiga and the ST were about even back in the day in the UK. I'm not really in tune with that scene overseas. But I was always under the impression from people on forums that, you know, they seem to be 50-50. I think the Amiga is the more desirable one to own personally, though, because of its more advanced hardware set at least in the lower end models. The Atari ST got there eventually, but it wasn't until like, man, was it? I don't remember what models of ST. I don't remember if it was like a early 90s model of ST that had, you know, was very, very capable. The original STs kind of had like limited color palettes compared to the Amiga. Some games generally just wouldn't run as well in the ST either. I have actually owned an ST. We actually did a stream of it. It's either early this year or late last year. Well, that's the case with all of those computer platforms. I mean, it's the case with any platform, really. You know, even our beloved consoles. You know, trashy games, it's just, you know, comes with the territory. But on those microcomputers in particular, where everyone and their grandmother had one, and everyone and their grandmother could program something on it and then release it, yeah, you had a lot of just, you know, bottom of the barrel garbage. It is what it is. But you got top tier stuff too, you know, games that are iconic. You know, stuff like Shadow of the Beast and Lemmings and things like that originated on those platforms. Alright, I'm going for it, guys. Going for the exit. Atari ST was good, yeah. It was popular back over there in the UK. Lots of games on it. GoldenEye to be the next N64 game to be ported to modern consoles? No. Way too many licenses wrapped up in that. There was actually a version developed for Xbox 360. You can see gameplay of it now. It was basically being ported much like Perfect Dark was. But it got canceled because like none of the companies could come up with like some kind of licensing agreement. Remember, Nintendo had their hand in GoldenEye. Microsoft technically because they own Rare. And then... God, whoever, you know, owns the movie license for it. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. If they couldn't come up with an agreement a long time ago, I don't see why they're gonna magically come around now. I'd love to see it happen, though. GoldenEye is an all-time classic. This might be another one of those levels where you've got some secrets on the outer edges. But I'm actually pretty good on ammo. It's just health that I could use. I could definitely use some more health. GoldenEye Reloaded. Yeah, I never heard of that. No clue. No clue. You don't have an N64. Well, I mean, you could always get an N64. I don't know why that's so difficult. They're not the cheapest things these days, but, you know, if money's an issue, you can always save money. Or you can try running it on an emulator. I think GoldenEye's been emulated okay for a while. You should be able to do that. I missed out on some, well, I'm sure I missed out on a lot of things, man. I've played a lot of games, but I haven't played everything. And neither have you. Or you, and you, and you, and everyone else in chat. Alright, let's check my map again. Remake of Fester's Quest, but change nothing. I'd be okay with that. It's actually one of those games I've been meaning to beat for a long time, and I still haven't gotten around to it. Both Fester's Quest and GoldenEye. Nice, Leonard. Hell yeah. Well, if you really want to do it, then you'll make compromises. Sell something you already have. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to come up with maybe reasons why you could still do it. But yeah, no, I hear you. With no job, it's tough. But I won't give you too much crap. That is a valid excuse. Well, thank you, Capella. Yeah, I've seen you here before. You were here a couple months ago. Good to see you back. I have a few folks that watch from the Netherlands. I have a couple friends over there. Uh-oh, it's not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Damn it. Went against my own advice there and was like, just ran straight into the room, not thinking. Alright. The NES was a colossal disaster in Europe? Not really. It just wasn't the smashing success it was in the United States, but it's all relative. I think if you look up sales numbers, it actually had a very similar sales count as the Master System, which is always touted as just being like a smash success in Europe. But that's only relative to where, you know, how it's sold in other parts of the world. So it's like, it's all relative, man. Yeah, and there's a misconception that the NES just bombed in Europe, but I don't think that's the case if you look at the sales numbers. But it wasn't a runaway success like it was in the United States. But it doesn't mean it did poorly. Europe is a totally different market, man, you know? It came really late, yeah. Alright, we're almost done. What are we at? We're at... Oh shit, we're over 3 hours now. Wow. See, about an hour and a quarter ago, I thought, you know what, we'll have this beat in like a few levels. And here we are. You know, 75 minutes later, still playing. Hey, Doomstash, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Probotector, yeah. Yeah, that's right, there are no enemies in this room. It's kind of a weird room. Usually you'd think, like, a key like that would have just enemies surrounding it completely. But we are actually almost done with the playthrough. It just took a little bit longer than I thought. And actually, it only took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to 75 minutes ago. But when I went into this, I had expected it to take at least 4 or 5 hours. Because on Twitch, I died a few times, and total, I think it took me about 5.5 hours. When it was all said and done. This playthrough is definitely going to go faster than that, at least, which is good. Alright, another level down. Alright, this is probably our last level. Yep, it is. Alright, so here's Mecha Hitler. We do have to play through a bit of a level. Uh-oh. Damn zombies. I don't think there were any secrets up front, but I know there were some secrets later on in the map. Alright, so one secret is over here. Alright, nice. Alright, we got a key. Alright, so this hallway out here, bunch of enemies out there too. We have to be careful. Yep. There's a lot of them too. I actually think I died in that hallway last time I played this. Alright, another key. I'm gonna actually run back. I want to get some health. You'll notice that I haven't really been using my my flamethrower or rocket launcher very much, and I really should be using it in the levels themselves. Maybe not at the boss fights, but during the stages themselves, because they cut through multiple enemies. That's pretty useful. I hear you. Alright, so as you can see, Hitler comes out of his suit. And that's it. We just beat Wolfenstein 3D on Jaguar. You hate the NES? Dude, you got some issues, man. No offense or anything. I feel like you're a contrarian intentionally. You don't actually give two shits about actually fun gaming. You just want to put things on a pedestal to make yourself feel better. Like, you're the better person. You're unique. You know, what's his face told me I was missing out for playing GoldenEye? You're missing out for not playing NES. I can't imagine how many other systems you've ignored because of your narrow mindset. I don't know how else to say that nicely. You start hating game systems, you got issues. It's not about liking video games anymore. It's about, like, trying to, I don't know, stand by something, or... It's like those retarded sports fans that have to pick, like, a single team. They can't just like the game. They have to prop up this team and stand by it like it's their identity. Leonard, hate. Trying to appreciate the old systems, yeah. Finish him. There we go. The game is over. We only like contrarians here. Well, see, I'll let you slide, Sin City, because if you hate everything equally, then, you know, fair enough. What's next? Nothing is next. It's not about sticking with what's popular, it's about experiencing the game libraries, and because you've got this, for some reason, illusion in your head that thinks, well, because I'm playing on a PlayStation 2 or an NES or a PlayStation 1, I can't like it because these systems were popular. But there are plenty of unpopular games, and just because something's popular doesn't mean it's bad. Some things are popular for a reason. They're popular because they're actually well-made, well-designed, and they're just genuinely fun. You don't have to, like, you know, ignore the blemishes to have fun with them. You know, you don't have to ignore Checkered Flag's 3 FPS frame rate, you know, to appreciate it, or spend hours and hours getting used to its shitty-ass controls to enjoy it. You know, there's nothing wrong with being able to pick up and play something and actually fucking enjoy it without thinking about it. You know? But you're talking yourself out of that and making yourself feel better in the process for it, and that's just idiocy. It's pure idiocy. So, have fun. Good luck with that. You know? You know, enjoy living in your own bubble, but you are the one that's missing out. Man, and those popular platforms, they have... Those Jaguar's got, what, like, I don't know, 100, 150 games when you include all the homebrew. PlayStation's got, like, 1,500. So imagine how many more good games there could potentially be out there that you're missing. That's just one system. And then you count up all the libraries of all the other systems, niche or not. Missing out. So as you can see here, they took a little bit of a cue from Doom. Unfortunately, you can't kill them again. Yeah, I'm sorry, Doomstash. When I see contrarians like that, just like, you know, willfully putting up a wall, that's just... I've been there. That was me in the 90s. And it's a lot of people, and a lot of people don't ever break out of that. And it's definitely not my problem. Yeah, they got the names wrong on some of these. So... Roblox, this is your first time watching one of my streams. Well, right on. Fanboyism is a horrible disease, yeah. And willful ignorance is even worse, if you ask me, Aaron. I have, yeah. I want to play it. I still haven't played Terranigma. Alright, Jeff Metal, take care, dude. Yeah, you know, it's kind of hard to appreciate these sprites when you're playing the game because of how the game moves, but it's nice seeing them on this end screen here. They're just nice and chunky. They're not, like, zipping around the screen. So, there's some really nice art in this game, actually. I mean, the PC Wolfenstein 3D always looks, you know, good in my eyes. But this looks even better. So much more detail on the sprites. So what's the next stream? I don't know. I'm gonna try to stream Saturday. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, or if I am going to, or what it's gonna be. I mean, if I do, maybe we'll do another variety stream or something. Oh, they extend the sprites by reversing them? Are you talking like mirroring the sprites? You couldn't hold back the Pink Floyd. And what's up, Uber Disco? I don't think I saw you out there, man. Yeah, some of the sprites are definitely mirrored, it looks like. Others are a little more unique, like Hitler has like his strap going over his chest. Yeah, meet the cast. So you got rid of it? Oh, get rid of it as in like you just... Yeah, it's probably best to just let it die. Desan knows what's up. Couldn't even do a separate ending BGM. Yeah, they always look at you in this one. And it's the same with the 3DO one and Super Nintendo one, unfortunately. It was a way to get around memory limitations. If the resources were there, I'm sure they would have implemented the extra sides, enemies walking back and forth, being able to sort of sneak up behind enemies. Yeah, probably not going to play Crimson Skies. I barely ever played that game. I think I might actually own it though, but yeah, I'm not going to play that anytime soon. Too many other games to play. You've been playing some Dark Souls Remastered. Nice. What system did you get it on? We did play Dark Souls Remastered on stream a couple weeks ago, and I picked up the Switch version the other night. Because Diamond Longplays wants to do a multiplayer game on it. He's got it on Switch. Kapala got the Series S. Very nice. Yeah, that made you want it. Hell yeah. Awesome, man. The Switch version, I mean, it's just like the other versions, except I think it runs at 30 FPS. But it's pretty much locked all the way through, so it's still a pretty smooth experience. Dad, I've actually got a couple of Sega PC game streams where I actually play a lot of those in one stream. So if you want to see that, go check those out. Yeah, it'll be a while before I do another Sega arcade kind of stream because I've just done a lot of them before already. For, like, between the Saturn games and the PC ports. Alright, see you, Dasan. You have it on PS4, but kind of want it on PC instead. Well, you're not missing much by not having it on PC. I mean, PC will be 60 FPS at all times, whereas PS4, I think it dips on a couple of boss fights. I think Sif is one of those boss fights. Dreamcast? Nah, probably not, Leonard. I'm not really in the mood for it. That Sega PC stream was killer, hell yeah. Sega's made PC games for a very long time. Sega's had PC ports all the way going back to the 80s. And then they were really big into the PC space in the 90s. It's only 60 FPS on PC, even on your 240 Hz. Alright, later, Doomstash. But you can't play in Battle Morph because PC's overrated. Oh yeah, no, they licensed out their games in the early 80s as well, for sure, Dad. But I think they actually did some of their own PC publishing in the late 80s. Like, actually published by Sega. And then in the mid-90s, like, yeah, they had a whole Sega PC division. And, I'm not sure if Sega still has, like, a separate PC division now, but back in the 90s they did. Yeah, next up, Super 3D Noah's Ark. I will do that eventually. Imagine a big crossover between Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, and Duke Nukem. Like, all 4 heroes team up together as the worlds collide. That would be interesting, actually. Modern retro gamer. I don't know of a modern retro gamer. I know modern vintage gamer. How do you think they can fix Duke Nukem? What do you mean? Like recover from the fiasco that was Duke Nukem Forever? I don't know. Honestly, I don't think they can fix Duke Nukem. Because everyone, like, gets all up in arms when, like, you know, vulgar jokes are made and stuff like that. His attitude and humor doesn't fly in this day and age. Too many people that are politically correct. Yeah, he'd have to cut his balls off. That modern vintage gamer guy. I'll have to go see that then. I'd be interested to see his take on those games. That was probably an older video of his. I think I started subbing maybe 2 or 3 years ago now. Haven't been subbed to his channel forever, so I know he's been around a while. Yeah, I would imagine it would be very difficult for them to bring Duke Nukem back and make him relevant in the same way he was relevant in the 90s. Yeah, Duke Nukem, poster child for the hashtag #MeToo movement in video game form. Shake it, baby. I mean, even when Duke Nukem Forever came out, people were kind of up in arms about it. Not just because of, like, the quality of the game itself, but, like, just the humor. People... Yeah, people were not down with it, even in 2010 or 2011 or whenever it came out. Is Return to Castle Wolfenstein good? I do not know. I've only played about 5% of it. And I assume that was 5%. Maybe it was 10%. I don't know. I only made it a few levels in. I played it for like an hour, hour and a half. Alright, take care, Battlemorph. Maybe dream about actually looking into what console libraries offer. Even if you think something's overrated. And actually trying some of those libraries and experimenting with them. And going into games and platforms with an open mind. Sleep well. Beyond Wolfenstein, Beyond Castle Wolfenstein. Yeah, there were old top-down Wolfenstein games on old, I don't know if it was Commodore 64 or the Atari 8-bits or early IBM PC compatibles. They might have been multi-platform, I don't know. Why are you thinking about this? I think you're overthinking it, Roblox. Can I stream handhelds? I have to do emulation. I do have the capability of shooting my N-Gage with a camcorder. But aside from that, I pretty much have to do software emulation. With Game Boy, I can do Super Game Boy. Or I do my Mister. I use the Mister for that. Same with Game Gear. Nintendo DS, I have to emulate. Game Boy Advance, I use the Mister. Alright, later, Andy. Hey, look at this, Andy. I wasn't giving you a hard time tonight. Aren't you glad you were here? Wii U Virtual Console. Dude, the DS games on Wii U Virtual Console are amazing. I'm still kind of angry that they never did Castlevania. Any of the Castlevanias. And actually, we looked at a DS Wii U Virtual Console list the other night, and they're all pretty much Nintendo games. Like, none of them are third-party releases, I just realized. Which might be why there were no Castlevanias, but it would have been amazing if Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia came out. Any games like Dark Souls before Demon's Souls? Kingsfield is very different. Yeah, no, there aren't any games I can really think of Uber Disco. I mean, there are some like third-person like action platformers, but in anything remotely similar to Dark Souls, not really. Dark Souls and Demon Souls is a very unique feel. Unreal Tournament all day for you. Which arena shooter do I prefer, Quake 3 or Unreal Tournament? I mean, I like them both. I mean, I'd say for like hardcore competitive play, I much prefer Quake 3. Its weapons are a lot snappier. Its movement feels better to me. But Unreal Tournament has way more modes. You know, it's got great, just a lot of options, you know. And its weapon set is very unique compared to Quake 3. Whereas Quake 3 was kind of like a tightening up and refinement of previous id Software weapons, like the rocket launcher, the shotgun, the plasma gun, the lightning gun even. But yeah, I mean, the Unreal Tournament series kept evolving, though. And, you know, Quake 3, it was just Quake 3 for the longest time. I mean, when Quake Live came out, it was just a spruced up Quake 3. Whereas we got Unreal Tournament 2003, Unreal Tournament 2004, Unreal Tournament 3, and then Unreal Tournament 2014, which wasn't finished, so again, I don't know, you might not want to fully count that, but that series at least kept going on and evolving, whereas Quake just kind of stayed stagnant for such a long time. But I think that's also just a testament to how like smooth and well-made Quake 3 was. It didn't need to change, you know. The first Unreal Tournament is still a blast to play, but I do think that it didn't feel as refined as it probably should have been until UT 2K4, which is, that's like the UT that most people say is like the best one to play. I love all of them though. You know, I was there right since the beginning with Unreal Tournament. Well, Andy, I mean, when I see like sheer like willful ignorance, that shit just annoys the hell out of me. I almost feel bad for people that think that way. And it's not just in like the space of video games, but you know, I have to deal with people all the time, and I do deal with a lot of people like that regularly, but it aggravates me in the retro gaming scene in particular, because there are people that will sort of be magnetized to a system like the Jaguar and then trash other systems that sold way better, and it seems like it's more out of jealousy, not because they've actually looked into the library or actually tried playing the games. I've seen it with Master System fans, I've seen it with hardcore you know, European microcomputer fans. I've seen it with you know, just other people too, and other subsets of the retro gaming scene. And it's like, you know, I wouldn't even care that much, but they always have a tendency of having to go out of their way to voice their opinion. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm an idiot. And like, I'm supposed to like sit there and be like, yay, thumbs up to you, good GG, buddy. This is another reason why I try not to talk about my opinions as often as I used to. Like, my channel used to be mostly about opinions and then gameplay, but now I've kind of made it more about the gameplay, because like, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, and not every opinion's right. I mean, opinions technically aren't ever right, quote unquote, but there are opinions that are based on actual experience, and then there are opinions that come from more or less hearsay or inexperience. And it's those opinions that I have a tendency of getting bombarded with, and they just turn into shit shows when it comes to conversation. Because you obviously know the person that you're talking to has got their head up their ass, and it's irritating. You know? And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this in other areas of life, not just retro video games on the internet. So, but yeah, I say everyone's got their favorites, but I don't think when it comes to your mainstream platforms or anything that was available at mainstream retail, I think most consoles have something to offer. And Honestly, the more popular a system gets, the more games are available, the more high-quality developers you have developing for them, the more likely you're going to have more great games. And so to not like a popular system is literally just sticking your head in the fucking sand. And that annoys me to no end. You know? So, you know. In the video game space, I can absolutely tell you, something being niche does not equate to quality. There's a reason it's niche. If it was just flooded with amazing games, it probably would have done a whole lot better in the market back in the day, because that's how shit works. People only have so much money to spend. They don't necessarily buy what's just popular. They buy what looks good. And the popular systems usually have more of what looks good. It's just how it works. So, I mean, I might come off as a jackass explaining it that way, but that's how it is. And what do you want me to say? There was a woman that wouldn't go out with Andy because he's from Minnesota and he's a Vikings and Twins fan. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, man. Although, I mean, I probably wouldn't date someone that was like a hardcore sports fan. I mean, I kind of get that, Andy, because you do have to kind of put up with the person. You're not just kind of casually like hanging out with them. I don't know. That's a weird one. But yeah, I know what you mean. I guess if you guys could just bounce off each other because, like, you know, you both hated each other's teams equally, then maybe it would be okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a sports guy. I don't like that whole thing. I go to my parents' house and they're all like, it's all about the Washington Redskins or whatever the hell their team name is now. I don't follow it. Or the Steelers. My mom grew up in Pittsburgh, so she's gotta stand by the Steelers. And I kind of facepalm every time I hear her talk about football. I'm like, I can't think like this. I can't do this. Angry gaming enthusiast shouts in anger at the sky. The end. Screams out in anger to all of your ears that are still listening. And if you are still listening, I appreciate it. Yeah, Freddy, I think we talked about this last time I streamed, Freddy. Yeah, the Unreal Tournament games. Unreal Tournament 2004 is definitely the most popular of them. Well, oh man, I mean, UT99, the original, was extremely popular. So in terms of actual, like, wide range of popularity, I don't know. It's between 2004 and 99. But it's most certainly not UT3, and it's not 2014 either. And it's not 2003. UT 2004 was basically 2003, but polished up way more with more content and whatnot. Alright, see ya, Andy. You have a UT... Really? Nice, Aaron. Dude, that'd make for a fun stream. I'd love to play some Q3 or Q3A or UT 2K4 on stream. But I'm just a deathmatch guy. I don't do a whole lot of other modes. But I would definitely be interested in trying to do that online sometime. Although I might... I'll have to download them again and see what it takes to actually get them working. Oh yeah, no, I totally agree, Oliver. Yeah, it's just, I start to raise eyebrows, not when, like, people are like, oh, I enjoy these bad games, but it's when, like, I enjoy these bad games, but I don't enjoy these good games. You know, that's when I start thinking to myself, we're getting into troll territory, but they're not actually trolling. They're just being normal by their own standards, and it's so awkward to be around. I love diving into games that aren't that great. I mean, hell, when I get my Jaguar flash cart, you bet your ass I'll be playing the quote-unquote bad games on the system. Like, I've gone back to Checkered Flag probably like 15 times over the years. Every few years, I'll try to fire it up again and see if I'm missing something. You know, I'm that kind of gamer. it does interest me to go back to these old games, even the quote-unquote bad ones, after having taken a break and see if there's something I'm missing. You know, trying to see the games through a different lens. Because all your experience in gaming is carried over from game to game to game to game, and sometimes it takes experiencing a whole bunch of other games before you can appreciate one that you may not have liked back in the day. You know, you might see enough similarities with other games now, or maybe you've picked up some skills that translate to that game you didn't care for before, and then it just starts to click, right? And I love that. It's one of my favorite things about video games is rediscovering games I thought I didn't like before, and appreciating them. Even if I still don't think they're great or amazing or even good, if they're still fun for me in some weird masochistic way, then that's what matters. I mean, Doom 3DO, it's a terrible version of Doom. I still enjoyed playing it a few weeks back. I zoomed in the picture, made the frame rate better, and it was still a pain to tolerate, but I still enjoyed it. I'm not going to go out of my way to say it's better than other versions of the game. I'm not going to say I'm going to recommend it to someone over other versions of the game, but it doesn't mean I still can't enjoy it. So, I don't know. Again, this is why I don't like talking about opinions, because then you got the guy that's like, I like 3DO Doom more than any other version, and I'm just like, alright, you're just being a fucking contrarian, like, just for the sake of it. And that shit's annoying. So that's probably a good note to end this stream on, guys. We've been going for almost 4 hours now, and I like turtles. Quake 2, PlayStation by far. It's a way better version. N64 version, it doesn't control as well. And it's linear stage design in that one. You go level by level, whereas the PlayStation version, it's still hub-based, like the PC game. And you got the original soundtrack. It's awesome. Turtles! I like turtles. Oh, man. You have a turtle named Myrtle. Hey, no problems, Oliver. Thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah, you tuned in late, but you got to see some of it at least, which is good. So, I like strawberry pie. I don't, yeah. Oh, man. Z22, you did miss it. Yeah, we finished it about a half an hour ago, and I've just been ranting since. What do I plan on playing next? I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. But it will be something. I will probably try to stream on Saturday. This is gonna sound pathetic, but I ended up deleting a couple of videos, and so, like, I ended up losing a bunch of stats on my YouTube channel, so I'm kind of trying to stream extra to make up for it. I mean, Wednesday nights I always stream, but Saturdays, you know, usually I try to take a break, but lately I've been doubling up on Saturdays, and, so I might try to stream again this week. Like I said, it helps my stats. The more I stream, the more people tune in, whatever, the more likely, like, more people will sub. That's how the YouTube game goes. Yeah, that's actually funny. I deleted some videos on the 18th. Negative 6,197 views. And on Tuesday, 11/24, I deleted some more. It's a negative 4,268. So I lost 10,000 views. I usually get about close to 40,000 views each month. So I'm going to have 10,000 views less than usual. That actually explains why my sub count has been a little bit lower this past month. Because the more video views you get, and the more watch time you get, the more YouTube's going to feature your videos at the top of search and recommendations and things like that. And so basically, the faster my video views grow, the more, like, my sub count usually grows in correlation, you know, to the video view count. So I know YouTube stats aren't all that interesting, but, you know, I do want to see my channel grow. So, you know, I appreciate all you guys watching and stuff like that. It doesn't sound like it, but it does help out a ton. Basically, again, YouTube works as, you know, the more views I get, the more watch time I get, the more likely I'll actually get exposure out there. So I do appreciate it, guys. By the way, huge shout out to Jeff Metal 42. Was it Jeff Metal? No. Oh, sorry. I was giving Jeff too much credit. Sorry, Jeff. It was Kevin, Retroactive, with the $5 super chat earlier. So thanks a lot, Kevin. Much appreciated, dude. And, but yeah, fun stream overall, I'd say. Yeah, it was good. I played through this on Twitch, because what could have been a 5.5 hour playthrough ended up being a 3.5 hour playthrough. Oh, and Adam with the last minute super chat for $1. Thank you, Adam. And let me actually unmute my alert. I forgot I had my alerts muted the whole time. I apologize for that. How about Quake 2 PS1 next? No. That's going to be a game that I'm going to have to play through once before I do a YouTube stream of it. So, I haven't beaten that game in about 20 years. It's actually probably been about 20 years exactly. 19 or 20 years. So, I want to make sure that I'm comfortable with it. Just like I was comfortable with this game going into this stream. But, yeah. First gameplay and talk stream you watched from start to finish. Yeah, that might be, Dad. I mean, you've been in a bunch of streams, but, yeah, this one wasn't the longest. Is it not gonna pop? The alert hasn't popped yet. Hasn't popped, man. I want the alert to pop. Oh, I know why it hasn't popped. Damn it. Damn it, Adam. Damn it. I don't have, I apparently don't have my alert box on my, my super chat slide page. Let's try this again. Alert box. Alright, let me find it again. Yeah, you heard the noise, but the alert didn't actually pop up because I didn't have the alert box there. Yeah, there we go. There you go, Adam. You gotta get you gotta, you know, get the credit you deserve. That's why I have slides for all this stuff. I'm like, you know, people are tipping, you know, they're showing their love and support. It's like, you know, I gotta give them credit where credit's due. So, you know, that's why I highlight the names in the slides and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's actually weird. I don't have the alert box on these. That's actually very interesting. Which time zone am I in? I'm Eastern. Hey, no problems, Dad. Take care of Patchouli. Yeah, you know what? I'm in a different game room now, which has better air conditioning, so I actually have started shutting my game room door again, so she actually hasn't been in here all night. But it's actually about an hour past her feeding time, so I actually need to feed her when I'm done here. Jeff Smith! See, now I have to switch back, Jeff. Butts! What's my Twitch page? I'll link to it. That's it right there. I stream kind of casually on Twitch. Usually I'm, usually on Twitch I'm focusing on like practicing for YouTube videos, or it's a Friday night and I'm getting drunk and I'm just trying to wind down after working 6 days straight. Oh, Jeff's super chat's taking a while to go through. It's not popping up on my Streamlabs list. Yeah, no, I think links are disabled Uber Disco except for me and mods. So. Yeah, Jeff, this one's taking its sweet ass time. It's all good, man. I need to play some Streets of Rage 4 again. Oh, you know what? Well, I don't know. It, Oh, you know what? It might have. I actually have a bunch of words blocked on YouTube intentionally, just so people aren't, like, spamming goofy shit over and over. I don't know. I'm gonna check my my settings real quick. I'm just kind of curious. All right, let's see. No, Butts isn't blocked. It should be able to go through. Yeah, I do have block links turned on because what happens is Uber Disco is like bots will come in and start spamming links and idiots will actually end up clicking on them. So yeah, if you have that enabled to block links, then it just gets rid of that whole bot problem. At least in terms of them posting links, them spamming links. Fortunately, YouTube's bot problem hasn't been all that bad for me lately on, you know, live streams. I still get the spammy bot posts on regular videos. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Jeff, apparently YouTube doesn't like you. Anytime, Dad, anytime. All right, see you, Leonard. Take care. Can you try to hit a banned word? Yeah, you probably can, Uber Disco. There's a very particular F word that I say a lot that is blocked, which is why my chats are usually pretty clean. Nice, Uber Disco. Yeah, ass is allowed. I mean, that's fine. Let's check my supers. Yeah, that's weird. Like, it did credit me the $2, Jeff, but it's not showing up on my Streamlabs alert list. That is so weird. Oh well. I appreciate it though, Jeff. We still got it on the chat at least. Here. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Butts. There you go, Jeff. Alright, 1. Oops. 1, 2. Oh, is that it? Uh-oh. There we go. Just have to make sure my zoom is correct in my chat, otherwise I won't have it embed correctly. You'll notice that I'm just doing a window capture here. So I can highlight and everything. I can click on Uber Disco and ban him. Here, let me try that again. I can click on Uber Disco and ban him. No, I'm just kidding. No, I could add him as a moderator, though. There you go, Uber Disco. Hey, you should try to post a link now, actually. I actually don't have many moderators. I just have like, I think I have 3 or 4. And I think only one of them tunes in regularly, so it's... Might as well make some extra people some mods. Yeah, I'm curious if you can post a link now, Uber Disco. You might be able to since you're a mod. You post something to Twitch or something. That got your laugh for some reason. Well, mission accomplished then. Oh, man. I'm getting tired of this music too. I need to get out of here. And I need to get some food in my stomach. So, thanks again, guys, for hanging out. Little kid's about to spam asking for mod. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen here. I mean, I do have a lot of people I would trust being mods on my live streams, for sure. And, but I don't know if it's really necessary. I don't... You know, I'm pretty good about, like, controlling this stuff on my own. Which is why I've never had that many mods. Yes! There you go. Well, see, there you go. Now Uber Disco can post links. That's good. Because I do get people asking about, like, Twitch channels and stuff like that. Or just, you know, maybe there's something I'm talking about that someone wants to post a link about. Like a good retro piece of gaming hardware or something. So having other people be able to post links now and then is good, for sure. So, yeah, no complaints there. Well, enjoy that privilege, Uber Disco. Yeah, you always mess up on something. Duly noted. Oh, man. Alright, guys. Well, I am out. I'll try to have this archive up tomorrow, assuming it doesn't get copyright claimed. I've been getting copyright claims for the weirdest things lately, and it's been really aggravating. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it'll be fine. And hell, it might even be up later tonight. If this process is fast enough, I might be able to have it up later tonight. So, but alrighty, folks. So new Let's Play will be up Saturday. Watch out for that. I will try to be back Saturday with a live stream of some kind. Not sure what it'll be, but if I'm not for some reason, I'll definitely be back Wednesday, since that's when we do our weekly stream. So, if you're new to my channel, I stream every Wednesday, and sometimes Saturdays, but every Wednesday is where we're at. So, but yeah, I'll try to figure out what to stream. I got a lot of stream ideas, but I haven't 100% decided on something yet, but it will be something. So. Oh, the fake YouTube copyright claims have been around for a long time. It's not really a new thing. I kind of go through phases where sometimes I'll get a bunch, and then other times I get nothing. It's complicated, and it's annoying. But, yeah, I have to live with it. But, alrighty guys, I'll catch you later. Until the next one, take it easy.